Yeah, good morning everyone. So, how are you guys? Okay. Start up. Anyway. So today this would be a kind of orientation session wherein we'll discuss like what exactly we have to do from day one onwards. Day one, when you start this preparation for civil services, I think we are here to prepare for civil services, right? Or something else? Antena? Pakka? Okay. In that case, this is true. Okay, you are at the right place. Wherein today is the one where we are going to discuss exactly pinpointedly this is what you have to do and this is what you are not supposed to do. We'll discuss that. Okay. Now, before going ahead, I just want to ask you guys any kind of specific questions that you have which I can address in my session. Any specific thing like, sir, I have an issue with this one. Can you please address this?
Because it is becoming more and more narrow.
Okay, CSAT. Anything else? CSAT? Questions? Optional. How to choose optional? Okay. Fine. So we'll discuss about optional subject, how to choose an optional subject, right? What else? ఏం లేదా అంటే ఒక వైట్ పేజ్ లాగా ఇట్లా కూర్చున్నాం అన్నమాట. ఏం చెప్తే అది రాసుకుంటాం. ఇంకా you can ask any kind of a question, no issues, but it should be related to civil service preparation. Any specific questions, please? Now, this has to be an interactive session basically because unless I try to understand your concerns, I will not be able to answer those concerns or address those concerns. Okay? So, the most important thing is if I understand, yes, this is what your mindset is, then based on that, I can address that. It's not like it's a lecture. No, it's not a lecture basically. ఓ పని చేద్దామా, ఒక్కొక్కరు ఒక్కొక్క క్వశ్చన్ అడగాలి. రూల్ అమ్మా ఇప్పుడు చెప్పమ్మా. హౌ టు క్రాక్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ఫస్ట్ అటెంప్ట్. సో ఇక్కడ రాసేద్దాము, రోడ్ మ్యాప్ టు బికమ్ IAS ఇన్ ఫస్ట్ అటెంప్ట్. దట్స్ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మైండ్ ఫర్. ఓకే, ఫైన్. టైటిల్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ క్వశ్చన్ అయిపోయింది, బాగుంది ఇది. నా క్వశ్చన్ అయిపోయింది, మీకు మిగతా వాళ్ళని అడుక్కోండి మీరు. ఫైన్. Any more questions from back? I always love backbenchers because I used to be a backbencher. How to write mains paper? How to write mains paper అంటే వెళ్ళి రాయటమే ఏమి ఉండదు అక్కడ. స్పెసిఫిక్ ఉండాలి అట్లా. ఆన్సర్ రైటింగ్. ఓకే, ఓకే. ఇంకా చెప్పమ్మా. లోపల ఏదో క్వశ్చన్ వస్తూ ఉంది కానీ ఆగిపోయింది ఒక దగ్గర. NCERT. ఓకే, NCERT. I will discuss about NCERT as well. ఇంకా ఓకే, కట్ షార్ట్ ద రిసోర్సెస్. ఓకే, రిసోర్సెస్ కట్ షార్ట్. ఓకే, ఓకే. Yeah, there are too many and you need to cut short. Newspaper, how to read newspaper? The session adi. I can address what to do with newspaper, but how to read newspaper is a very big session. I have 3 hours session adi. Okay, somewhere in this session I will just throw some light on the importance of newspapers, what to do with that. Okay, so regarding newspapers, some people read newspapers, some people doesn't read newspaper, but still they crack exam. How is it possible? Is it really is it really true, or is it just something like they just wanted to speak something, therefore they have said that? Or they have actually read news items? Or in what way they have read news items? Any other shortcut form of reading a newspaper, or without reading newspaper, is there any shortcut form to crack all the questions in the exam? ఇలాంటి చాలా ఉంటాయి స్టోరీస్ న్యూస్ పేపర్ గురించి. ఒక్కొక్కరు ఒక్కొక్క యూట్యూబ్ స్టోరీ రాస్తారు. టూ మెనీ రిసోర్సెస్. ఆ స్టోరీ అన్నింటిలో ఏది కరెక్ట్ రిసోర్స్ అనేది మనకు తెలియదు. కరెక్టే, మంచి క్వశ్చన్. అండ్ దెన్
What kind of demand are we looking at? Because I've seen multiple interviews of people who got selected, and most of them are like 8 to 10 hours a day, and then your life is supposed to be more balanced and not kind of preparation focused. So is that actually true, or is the backend scenes quite different? And then just for the sake of interview, is it like
simple thing? Let me address directly. Okay. I have seen so many students all these years. Okay, it's not just 1 year of rankers. Okay, we have seen hundreds and hundreds of rankers all these years, and hundreds and hundreds of students, thousands in fact, thousands and thousands of students we have trained. So what is more important here is, when people ask, when you become a ranker, because you people look at you people, when I say something you might not be able to believe it, but if a ranker tells the same thing, you will believe it. The problem is with you guys basically, because you just believe only a ranker, not an experienced person like me, right? This is what happens. That's the reason why what we do, since you don't believe me, what I do, I will just ask the toppers and we'll conduct toppers talk, okay, and then let them speak, then you will understand. Okay, so the problem is with us actually, the problem is with you people, wherein you believe only a ranker. Whatever the ranker speaks, you believe that it is 100% true, which is 100% wrong actually. Because the same person in different interviews would have spoken different things. Believe me, this is what happens. When a ranker, as soon as he or she gets the rank, on the spot, if you interview them, they will talk something which is genuine in nature. But after 1 week, after 10 days, after 1 month, after 2 months, you see the same person talking in different language, different things. That happens. That happens to almost every ranker. 99.99% of the rankers, this is what happens. In fact, that is the reason why we try to see that in the initial days of these people cracking the exam, we want those people to come and talk to our students, not in the later days. In the next 2-3 months, they get polluted. Very fast they get polluted. But to understand the ground reality, it will take another 1-2 years for them. After 1-2 years, they talk sensible things. But whatever it is, okay, if you summarize this entire thing, what is the actual, real, genuine element that we need to understand as far as his question is concerned is, see, assuming that is 1 or 1.5 years of preparation, okay? Almost throughout the year, you might be preparing for 7 to 8 hours per day on an average. But before the examination, maybe 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, based on your plan, based on your capacity, definitely you will be reading minimum of 12 hours before the exam. That means, for example, May we have prelims exam. Suppose next year, May 26th, we have prelims exam. Okay, at least in the month of May, minimum guaranteed that you will be reading at least 12 hours per day. Or some people, even in the April also, they would have read 10 to 12 hours per day. Possible. That's what you have to do also at that point of time. You cannot say that I will read only for 5 hours because I was reading 5 hours for the last 1 year. Therefore, let me read only for 5 hours per day. No. Because there's so much of syllabus to revise, and multiple times that you have to revise, you need more time for revision. Is it or not? So practically speaking, in the end, yes, you are supposed to spend hell lot of time on your studies. But in the beginning, it's not required. Yes. Some people say that, that's what. The same person would have actually gone through 5 hours, 7 hours or 8 hours throughout the year. End May, he would have read maybe 12 hours or 14 hours. But when someone asked in the interview, he would have talked about this or this, not both. So he would be saying, throughout the year I have spent only 5 hours or 7 hours, that's it. But actually what he did in the end, he didn't tell. But some other people, they would talk about the second part, that I was reading for 12 to 14 hours per day. Yes, you were reading for 12 to 14 hours. That is also true, but at what time? Just before the exam. True. But even 1 year before that, were you reading 12 to 14 hours per day throughout the year? Impossible. Impossible, literally. It's not possible for everyone to read 12 to 14 hours per day throughout the year, or 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, whatever it might be. That is completely wrong information. The reality is that throughout the year you will be reading. Some people will go with 5 hours, some people with 7 hours, some people with 8 hours is okay, less than 10 hours. The maximum effective time that you can spend in front of effective time, underline effective time that you can spend with your books is 5 to 5.5 hours. Even if you spend for 8 hours or 10 hours in front of the books, the remaining term is useless. You're actually wasting your time. But still, okay, fine. At least psychologically you feel so happy spending so much of time in front of the books. Do that. Nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong in that. But don't always think that, so time is not sufficient. I need some more time. 24 hours is not sufficient. Let me have 48 hours. That is wrong. Your mindset itself is wrong in that case. Are you getting my point? So the time is something which you have to manage very maturely, very effectively. It's not that keep on reading books throughout the day and you feel like I have read so many things. Useless. But even if you have read 7 to 10 hours, but the effective time that you are going to spend in front of books will only be 5 to 5.5 hours. My suggestion for you is spend only 5.5 hours or 6 hours in front of the books, effectively complete that, and then go and enjoy your life. If you have a girlfriend, go and talk to her and spend some time with her. If you want to go and watch a movie, go and watch a movie. If you want to spend some time with your parents, go and spend some time. It's okay. All accepted. But that 5.5 hours have to be the most effective time in the day. That day's most effective time should be that 5.5 hours. Then yes, whatever you do rest of the day is okay for us. Getting my point? That's what it is. Got it? Any other questions? That's an important one. Good one. Thanks that you asked that question. అంతేనా అయిపోయినాయి క్వశ్చన్స్? ఇంకా నేనే క్వశ్చన్లు వేసుకోవాలి, నేనే ఆన్సర్లు చెప్పాలా? టీచర్లో మాకు తెలుసు మీ క్వశ్చన్లు ఏంటో కూడా, మీరు చెప్పబోయినా మాకు తెలుస్తూ ఉంటాయి. బట్ ఐ థాట్ లైక్ ఇఫ్ యూ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ దాట్ సమ్మన్ ఎల్స్ వుడ్ ఆల్సో బీ హ్యావింగ్ ద సిమిలర్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎ క్వశ్చన్, దేర్ ఫోర్ ఐ కెన్ అడ్రస్ ఆల్ దీస్ క్వశ్చన్స్ టుగెదర్. దట్స్ ద పాయింట్. అయిపోయిందా నీ క్వశ్చన్స్? ఓకే, షల్ వి స్టార్ట్ దెన్? ఓకే, సో వేర్ ఈజ్ మై రిమోట్? అరే, just hold on. So there is a specific reason why I have taken only these two rankers. Okay, let me talk about these two rankers first, and then let me see whether I will be able to run this or not. Hey. Just give me a second. If at all I am able to run this one, the certain things should be clear. So there are certain elements that we need to learn from these rankers. And one more thing before I proceed with these things. Never ever blindly imitate a ranker. Never ever do that mistake. Okay? A given strategy by a ranker is a proper strategy for that candidate for that year. For that year again. The same strategy might not work for next year. Are you getting my point? So if you just imitate it, you become another fool of highest order. That's it. Try to get inspired by talking to a ranker, listening to a ranker, but never ever imitate a ranker in terms of their preparation or in terms of what exactly the reference book he or she followed. Okay, they talk hell lot of nonsense, I'm telling you. Okay, I just wanted to in fact make a video on this also, that you guys why you do like this. This is something like the same day when she got the rank, right? The same day, not the very next day. The next day was the interview, right? So let us go into this one. Okay. Telugu, you people understand Telugu? All of you, those who are not, cannot understand? Somewhat? Not able to understand anything? Just hold on for some time then. I will explain.
The blank state is a nice state. So, మన first syllabus previous year's questions. అందులో గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అయిన వాళ్ళే మోస్ట్లీ చదవడం స్టార్ట్ పెడతారు. కొంచెం బేసిక్ కామెంట్స్ ఉంటుంది ఏమైనా. సో ఒక సిలబస్ టాపిక్ పట్టుకొని ఏంటిది అని తెలుసుకోవడానికి ప్రయత్నించాలి. కానీ ఎంతవరకు తెలుసుకోవాలనేది మీకు ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్స్ క్వశ్చన్స్ తెలుస్తుంది, మీరు ఎంత డెప్త్లో అడుగుతుంటారు. అండ్ ద సెకండ్ థింగ్, టాపర్ కాపీస్ ఉంటాయి, టాపర్ వీడియోస్ ఉంటాయి. ఊరికి అవి చూస్తూ పోకుండా ఒక 10 చూసి ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ద కామన్ డినామినేటర్. ఏంటిది, ఏముంది వీళ్ళందరూ కామన్ దట్ మేక్ దెమ్ దట్. అది క్యాచ్ చేయకుంటే 100 వీడియోస్ చూసినా వేస్ట్. కానీ మీరు ఒక 10 వీడియోస్ చూసినా యూ విల్ ఇమ్మీడియట్లీ అండర్స్టాండ్ దిస్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ డూయింగ్ సంథింగ్ ఇన్ కామన్. అది ఆన్సర్ రైటింగ్ కావచ్చు, లేదా కీపింగ్ ద సోర్సెస్ లిమిటెడ్ అవ్వచ్చు, మంచి ఒకటే షీట్ నోట్స్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు పర్ టాపిక్, లేదా యూట్యూబ్ వీడియోస్ ద్వారా మేబీ దే ఫిల్లింగ్ దర్ గ్యాప్స్. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? లైక్ అది చాలా ఇండివిజువల్ ఎఫర్ట్ ఉండాలి. ఒకరిలో వచ్చి ఫార్ములా అయితే ఇవ్వలేదు కదా, సో మంచిగా లైక్ బిలీవ్ ఇన్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ దట్ యూ కెన్ ఫైండ్ ద స్ట్రాటజీ. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఎంత ఎక్స్ట్రా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంటుంది మార్కెట్లో అంటే మీకు ఏమైనా అర్థమైనా యూ క్వశ్చన్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్, ఈజ్ దిస్ రియల్లీ ద రైట్ వే టు డూ అని. సో అట్లా క్వశ్చన్ చేసుకోకుండా బిలీవ్ ఇన్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. యూపీఎస్సీ ఇస్ వెరీ సింపుల్. వాళ్ళు చాలా సింపుల్గా ఇచ్చారు, ఎక్కువ క్లియర్ చేసే క్వశ్చన్స్, ఇప్పుడు సిలబస్ నేను కూడా తెలియజేశాను ఫస్ట్ 3 అటెంప్ట్స్లో. అందుకే చెప్తున్నాను అంత కాన్ఫిడెంట్గా ఇది చేస్తామని. అవన్నీ చేయకుండా లైక్ ఈ రెండింటిని గైడింగ్ లైన్స్ లాగా పట్టుకొని ఈ టాపర్ స్ట్రాటజీస్ వీడియోస్ వాట్ ఎవర్ మిషన్ వచ్చినా చూడండి, బట్ కామెంట్ డినామినేటర్ ఏంటి, వాట్ ఇస్ ద డూయింగ్ కామెంట్ అనేది క్యాచ్ చేయండి. అండర్స్టాండ్ ఎగ్జామ్ మంచిగా బల్బ్స్ క్యాచ్ చేస్తూ ఒకసారి ఎగ్జామ్ని మీరు మళ్ళీ క్లియర్ చేసుకుంటారు. కొందరు మళ్ళీ క్లియర్ చేసుకుంటారు. దట్స్ బికాస్ వాళ్ళు ఆ పల్స్ పట్టుకున్నారు. సో ఇంకా ఎన్నిసార్లు పెట్టినా ఆపిస్తారు. కాబట్టి ఇవన్నీ కూడా స్మార్ట్గా చదవటం కాదు. ఈ ఎగ్జామ్ ఇస్ నాట్ అబౌట్ నాలెడ్జ్, నాట్ అబౌట్ చదవటం. గూగుల్ ఉంది యూపీఎస్సీ నాలెడ్జ్ గా. ఇట్స్ డిమాండింగ్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్, demanding analytical persons, demanding people who can make a strategy, make a game plan and follow through with it. ఈ స్కిల్స్, ఈ వాల్యూస్ ని యూపీఎస్సీ చూస్తుంది. ప్లీజ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్. అంతేగాని
ఎగ్జామ్ రాసేద్దామంటే వేస్ట్. సో సంథింగ్ స్ట్రాటజీ ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలి. maybe you will get the strategy by practicing revisions to మాట్లాడినప్పుడు.
ఆ ఎగ్జామ్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఏం చేయాలో మీకు ఇక్కడ మొత్తం క్లారిటీ ఉండాలి. మెయిన్స్ అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి ఏం రాయాలనేది కాదు, అక్కడ ఏం రాస్తున్నామో మీరు ఆల్రెడీ అంత ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తాము. అక్కడ ఆటో పైలట్ మోడ్ మన వాళ్ళు అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్ కి క్యూరేట్ చేసి ఎలా రాయాలి. దిస్ ఇస్ అ స్కిల్. జస్ట్ రాస్తే సరిపోదు, మళ్ళీ మంచిగా ప్రజెంట్ చేయాలి. ఆన్సర్ అంటే ఒక మంచి ఆన్సర్ ఎలా రాయాలో ఐడెంటిఫై చేయాలి. దీనికి అట్లా ఎన్ని కాపీస్ ఉన్నాయి టాపర్స్, ట్రై టు సీ వీళ్ళందరూ కామన్ గా ఏం చేస్తున్నారు. అండ్ వన్స్ మీరు అది అర్థం చేసుకున్నాక ఈ 3 hours లో రాయడం ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి. సో నేను ప్రిలిమ్స్ తర్వాత ఎవ్రీ వీక్ 2 tests రాసుకున్నాను. నేను ఇప్పుడు 30 దాకైతే 30 to 35 అట్లీస్ట్ అంటే లైక్ ఇట్స్ నెసరీ. ఆ ప్రాక్టీస్ కావాలి ఎవ్రీ వీక్ చేయడం.
Okay. Okay. So, what is that she was talking about? The biggest thing that we can take from this small interview, it's a big one actually, but anyway, this is a very small snippet of that big one. If you want to see the entire video, you can see in the YouTube. We have all the links available there. But anyway, this entire preparation is not just about learning. First important thing. It's not about just learning. It's something more than that. That is something which we need to understand on day one itself, that this is not just about learning. If it is just learning, there are so many people, thousands and thousands of candidates throughout India who can learn better than you guys, who can do more hard work better than you guys, who are more intelligent than you guys, more creative than you guys, but still you have to cross all these guys and then get into your IAS. Are you getting that? Now, what is that element which makes you cross all these guys? It's not just about reading them. It's not just about referring to so many books. It's not just about that. That is something which you have to go beyond this. That is something which she was referring to. Anyway, so Shakamuri, okay, why I have chosen these two guys? The reason being that this guy, first attempt. Shakamuri, very first attempt. Okay, this girl, 5th attempt. Right? 3 attempts. She cleared 2 attempts. She has written 3 attempts mains. First 1, 2, 3. 3rd attempt she went to interview. 4th attempt she could not clear prelims. 5th attempt she got all India rank 3. And all these things happened because that 4th attempt was crucial. She could not clear that 4th attempt, prelims itself. That is in fact a kind of a turning point for her in her life. Had that not happened, or in the 4th attempt, had she cleared prelims examination, things would have repeated again, the same thing. 4th attempt, 5th attempt, 6th attempt also. That is something called as a failure cycle, which we call it as a failure cycle. So coming out of the failure cycle requires one break, one attempt break, and she luckily got that break in her 5th attempt. Getting that? Okay. So not in 5th attempt, 4th attempt, sorry. 5th attempt she got in main service. And we'll discuss about this later again. And this guy, he's a very, very fresher. As soon as he completed his graduation, he just started his preparation. Okay, immediately he cracked this exam, very first attempt. And he himself was not able to believe that he cracked this exam. I'm talking about initial days, not today. Okay, I'm talking about as soon as he cracked this examination. If you talk to him in 1 or 2 days or in a week's time, then you will get that real sense of what exactly this guy all about, right? So this guy is like that. Okay, and he, in fact, we had an interview session here itself. And he was talking to students also. I think it's in the Google folder. I think it might not be, I don't think so. We have a connect from here. Anyway, so what we do is, these videos, we have it in YouTube also, I think. I'm not sure. But anyway, the crux of thing is, again, the same thing. One more thing. Both of them, it is anthropology, which is optional. Common thing. Umaharati, earlier it was geography. and when she could not clear prelims in her 4th attempt, she changed her optional. She prepared anthropology optional on her completely on her own. 5th attempt she cleared, okay, with anthropology as optional subject. This guy directly took anthropology because he has got some interest in the subject content. Even before he started his preparation, he started reading some books which has got some kind of anthropology content in it. So he was interested in that. Therefore, by default, he has chosen anthropology as his optional subject, right? And then this guy has very much limited preparation because he doesn't have even time also to prepare more. So very much limited number of resources, but whatever resources he has chosen correct ones, perfect ones, with a very thoughtful resources he has chosen, and he got expertise on that limited number of resources because he doesn't have time to read more. So just wanted to get expertise in the limited resources that he has got, and he did exactly the same thing. And whatever questions he got in the examination hall, he knows them. Whatever he knows them, he has written perfectly and he cracked. This girl's story was different. First 3 attempts she has written mains, because prelims it was something like cakewalk for her. Prelims is a cakewalk. She somehow in the very first attempt she could get the pulse of UPSC prelims. So every attempt she was easily clearing prelims. Prelims clearing easily means that you are already in that failure cycle. That's what generally happens. Even for me also the same thing happened. It's a different story. Anyway. Okay. And then in mains she was reading okay. She was little bit practicing, that was also okay. But still what is missing in her mains preparation is something which she could not identify in subsequent attempts also. But when she could not clear prelims examination in her 4th attempt, then she started thinking, what's wrong with me? She got time, enough time now. Earlier she was not getting time because every time she was clearing prelims very easily. Again she was preparing for mains. The same notes and same everything, same thing repeated. And every time she is failing. Then she realized what she has to do, and then she cracked this exam. Anyway, so whatever. I will come back to all these things later, but before going further, I just wanted to let you guys understand those people who are not aware of the pattern of examination. I think most of you might be aware of pattern of this exam, but anyway, I just wanted to give, because there are some students who are online live viewing this session. Therefore, for all of you, as a summary, we have 3 stages of this examination. One is preliminary examination, and second is mains exam, third is personality test. Okay, we don't actually call it as an interview, to be frank with you guys. We don't actually call it as interview, we call it as a personality test. It's not about question and answer. Are you able to give right answer to the question or not? There is nothing right or wrong when it comes to personality. Okay, personality doesn't have this is good personality, this is bad personality. There's nothing like that. Okay, so every personality is good, every personality is bad also for that context. But only thing is whether your personality traits are suitable to be an administrator tomorrow or not. That is more important, rather than whether you will be able to answer all the questions given or posed by the panelists or not. That's not the. Even if you are not able to answer all the question, one question if you are able to answer in a proper sense, okay, that reflects your personality, right? That's what is being tested there. It's not about question and answers. Some people believe that the panelists were asking so many questions, I was not able to answer a single question. Then itself I realized I am gone this time. Nothing like that. Okay. But again, by saying no, that I cannot answer this question because I don't know this question, or I don't remember this question, whatever. The way you express that also is important there. That reflects your personality there. Getting that? Anyway, so the 3 stages. The preliminary stage is quite obviously objective type. We have MCQs, multiple choice questions. You will be given 4 choices, A, B, C, D, of which you have to choose one which you feel like it is a correct one. Okay, and there is a negative marking in prelims. How much is negative marking? 1/3. Why 1/3? Why not 1/2 or 1/4 or 1/5? Why only 1/3? ఇదేంది ఇట్లాంటి క్వశ్చన్ మాకు యూపీఎస్సీలో అడగడు. సీసాట్ ఎవరు అడిగారు అక్కడ సీసాట్ మరి బేసిక్ కామన్ సెన్స్ అది. వై ఓన్లీ 1/3? వై నాట్ 1/4 or 1/5 or 1/6? So CSAT qualification is 1/3, therefore negative marking also is 1/3. బాగుంది, but not true. CAT exam ABCDE కూడా ఉంటుంది కదా, ఉంటుందా? క్యాట్ మా అప్పుడు ఉండేది, మీ అప్పుడు ఎట్లుందో మరి నాకు తెలియదు. అప్పుడు 1/4 ఉంటుంది negative mark. See, basic common sense. Suppose there are 100 questions. 100 questions, okay? If there are 100 questions, there are 4 choices A, B, C, D. So generally, the mindset of paper setter would be that he tries to ensure that equal number of A's, equal number of B's, C's and D's should be the answers for the entire paper. 100 questions on an average, you will have 25 A's, 25 B's, 25 C's, 25 D's. Okay? Someone who doesn't know anything in this question paper, he should be disqualified because he should not qualify in that paper. So how to ensure that? One way of doing that is, how general people does? There are 2 types of people or 3 types of people. One, he tries to read the question, tries to understand and then tries to answer it. The second 2 varieties of students, they don't know anything about this question. So what they does? Guesswork. There is logical guesswork which you are supposed to understand in prelims preparation. Like someone who doesn't even apply his brain, there is no logical work applied. Then what he does? Take a coin, toss the coin and then see whether it should be A or B or C or D. There will be another smart guy would be there. Another smart guy. What he does is, he will keep all A. In 5 minutes, his answers are complete. All A's. Now what happens? 25 are correct, suppose on an average, so 25 correct. But 75 were wrong. If the negative marking is 1/3, now what happens? 1/3 of that 75 is 25. Already plus 25 is there, minus 25 becomes 0. He'll get 0. Getting my point? Obviously, right? See, arbitrarily someone should not be get selected there. Someone should not be clearing that paper arbitrarily just like that by using certain stupid logic like this. Even that logic also has to be defeated by, not only just to be, this is a basic thing in any of the MCQ papers, any of the competitive examination or anywhere, wherever you go, this is the basic logic. If there are n choices, 1 by n minus 1 would be the negative marking. N choices, 1 by n minus 1 in general, okay? Suppose some people want to make it little tougher also, in which case they change this ratio, okay? Anyway, leave that aside, that's not important now, okay? Anyway, so preliminary objective and mains exam is completely subjective in nature. That means you have to write descriptive answers. If you look at most of the papers, we have, how many papers that we have? Okay, of course, and let us come back to prelims. Prelims, we have 2 papers. Paper 1 is General Studies GS1 we call this as GS1. And we have CSAT paper, Civil Services Aptitude Test, we call it as GS2 we call, okay? And then CSAT, you need to qualify this paper, CSAT, only then your marks of General Studies 1, GS1 would be considered. And there is a lot of hue and cry going on CSAT paper. So many protests and legal cases are also going on. Whatever it is, leave it aside. From as far as we are concerned, we have 2 papers. Till the time UPSC gives a new notification saying that CSAT paper is scrapped, or CSAT paper is modified, or entire prelims is restructured, till UPSC tells you that, or Department of Personnel and Training, DOPT, tells you that, till that time, what we have is there are 2 papers in prelims, GS1 and GS2. GS2 is CSAT paper which is qualifying in nature. So don't even listen to whatever happening in North India. North India, so many things happen. Okay? But here people keep on, they study their own things and they are least bothered about what's happened outside. Okay? That's really important at this juncture. Don't keep on following those CSAT news that come. Right? This is what it is. When it comes to mains examination, yeah, though we say 9 papers, but actually the 2 papers which are language papers, one of them is English language, the other one is any other language specified in official Gazette of India. Okay, so those languages would be given. Okay, there are a few languages which you can write the second paper. Okay, for example, Telugu people write Telugu second language, and then Hindi, North Indian belt, most of them write in Hindi, and then Kannadigas write in Kannada, Malayalis write in Malayalam, Tamilians write in Tamil, Maharashtrians in Marathi. So whichever language, apart from English, Indian language, or apart from English, whichever is prescribed in your gadget, okay, that language you can choose, and both of them are qualifying papers again. Okay, and then one paper of essay we have. Essay also, though it is one paper, you are supposed to write 2 essays. Each 125 marks. 125 marks is therefore 250 marks for the entire essay paper. And you have 4 GS papers, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. Each of the paper amounts to 250 marks. So this 4 GS papers is 1000. Here another 250. 1250. Okay, and you are supposed to choose an optional subject for which you have 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2 for that optional subject. How to choose an optional, we'll come back to that later. Got it? Okay, and all these things are descriptive. In general, if you see this GS paper, this I already mentioned, there will be 2 essays. Okay, 125 marks each, amounting to 250. GS papers, each of the paper, if you see, generally the distribution would be 10 questions of 10 markers, another 10 questions of 15 markers. Okay, 10 markers, 10 15 markers. Okay, this amounts to 100, this amounts to 150. 100 plus 150 is 250 each of the paper. Okay, here you are supposed to write in 150 words. Here you are supposed to write in 250 words. Even in that video also I was mentioning that, right? 10 150 word markers, 10 250 word markers. 10 150 word markers means 1500. 10 250 word markers means 2500. Add them, it is 4000. In a span of 180 minutes, 3 hours. Impossible to write. Impossible to write. Okay? Even here also you are given 3 hours of time. Do you think you are going to write 4000 words in that essay paper? 2000 in essay 1, 2000 in essay 2? No. UPSC directly tells you have to write each essay in 800 to 1000 words. UPSC itself tells you that each of the essay you write in 800 to 1000 words, not crossing that one. That means the maximum is 1000. 2 essays, so it means 2000 in a span of 3 hours. UPSC itself telling that, but here it is 4000 words in a span of again the same 3 hours. Do you think that you will be able to write that? No. Maximum that you can write here would be 2500. Some people, if they have really extraordinary speed, then they might be able to cross this one and then may go up to 2700 to 3000 words. 4000 is almost next to impossible, unless otherwise you are some kind of machine writing kind of. Okay. మనుషులం కదా మెషిన్ల గురించి మాట్లాడుకోవడం అనవసరం, రైట్? ఓకే, ఎనీవే క్లియర్. ఓకే, because these days I have seen one AI machine, it copies our handwriting. You don't need to write your homework in school, especially our children don't need to write homework from next time onwards, because there is a machine which understands your handwriting and starts writing, starts printing on the paper, so exactly the way you write your words. So we are not such machines, okay? Therefore we will not be able to write these 4000 words. So what is more important here is Is it required to write 4,000 words first of all? No, not at all. If you have a question wherein you are supposed to write 150 words, if I am able to write it in 75 words, the entire crux of that 150 words, if I am able to write in 75 words or 100 words, is it not sufficient? Is it required that you have to write 150 words for each of them? No. That whatever is that 150 words, if you are able to put it in just 75 words, you are better than the other guys, right? You should be given better mark. That is always the best one. Instead of writing everything, filling the paper, you just write whatever is relevant to the question. It might be somewhere around 75 to 100 words. That is the best thing that you can do. So that's what is more important rather than just keep on filling the space. Getting my point? Okay. Even here also, even 250 words also is not required that you have to go up to 200 or 250. Even it is 150, yes, perfectly all right. But in that 150, whatever you want to speak or whatever you want to write, you should be able to write all those points there in that 150 words. Okay, that's what it is. Anyway, and then you have personality test, which is for 275 marks. So the final merit list would be displayed, merit list would be prepared based on your total marks of these 7 papers here, which amounts to 1750 plus another 275 marks of personality test, which would be total of 2025 marks. Based on that, you will be given awarded rank. Okay, fine. So this approximately goes for 10 months. Actually, it crosses the 10 months period actually. Your preparation would be generally for 10 months initial preparation, but it also crosses 10 months in some cases. Okay, because generally the notification comes in the month of February. Okay, and again the final result will come in the month of April ending or May. So it actually crosses 14 months. It actually crosses 14 months, not 10 months. There is something wrong here. Anyway, let me come back to this part, which is a little crucial one, because I want you guys to understand this. This is a kind of a macro level view of what is going to happen for you guys for the next 1.5 years to come. Okay, and based on that, you have to plan this one. It's not like classes started, therefore I start reading. That's what the first video of Uma Harthi tells. It's not about reading. It's not about learning. It's not about gaining knowledge. That's not sufficient. Okay, it's not just about that. You need to have a plan of your own, what you are going to do for the next 1.5 years to come. Okay, this is those who is preparing for 2024 exam. I will prepare this one. Okay, I will just explain that. 2025 a copy paste kind of. Okay, but the slight modification would be there. Anyway, we are in 2023. Okay. 2025, sorry, 24. 5 4 Okay, some of you, I think I already explained this one, right? But in general, this is what is going to happen. Suppose 2024 is the year where you want to write your civils exam, okay? And you want to crack that year, suppose. That's the plan. Okay, that's what you are all here. 99% of you guys are thinking of 2024 as the year that you are going to crack this exam. Okay, let us look at the timelines. So if you look at the yearly timetable given by UPSC, May you are going to have prelims exam. When is that? 26th May is the prelims exam. September you have mains exam, right? September you have mains exam, and then here December, and then 2025 February, suppose you get the mains result, and then February, March, April you are going to, or sometimes in May also, May comes here. Sometimes in May also you might have interviews, and finally results will come in the month of May 1st. See, this year it got delayed because of some other reasons. Okay, but generally before prelims, nearly 1 month before prelims, you will get the final result. Okay, it means in this case, suppose in this year 2025, again May 27th or 28th is the prelims exam, suppose, and 1 month before that, April end, you should get final result, or if it is delayed also, May 1st week you will get the result. Okay, fine, that's what happens. Now the point is, the most important thing is, if you have to crack 2024 exam, that means in the final merit list, whichever, it might be displayed in the month of last week of April or first week of May, if your name has to appear there, that whether you are IAS or IPS or whatever, okay, if your name has to appear here, then the most important thing is that you need to score the highest in mains. The highest marks in mains is something which is going to ensure that you have a rank in the final merit list. Don't always rely on personality test. Personality test, you might get good marks or you might not get good marks. You might be just landing at an average. But still, you should be in the top merit list. You should be in the merit list. That is possible only if you are extremely good at your mains exam papers. And this is very, very critical. This is in your hands. Interview most of the times might not be in your hands. Okay? Generally people doesn't take risk in mains, doesn't take risk in interview. The reason being that if you start taking risk in interview, you might get extremely high mark or extremely low mark also. Right? But getting an average mark in interview is very important, and just crossing that average, plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, plus 40 is more important rather than trying to go for extremely good marks in interview. Which kind of people take risk in getting extremely high marks in interview? Those people who just qualified mains examination with a border mark. Okay, are you getting that? Suppose 800 is a border, suppose. Someone, he felt like, I might not clear this examination, but suddenly in the mains result, his name is there. His roll number is there. That means he just crossed his mains examination with just cut-off mark, or maybe 5 to 10% beyond that. Okay? That kind of a guy can take risk at the time of interview. Are you getting my point? But he has to take the risk. That risk might fetch him extra marks in interview, or it might give him lowest mark also. So that is a risk that he is taking. That person can take. Why he has to take is because in mains he doesn't have that extra marks. Right? Now there are people who could clear that way. But that rarely happens. That happens also every year. Okay? Now it's not even rarely. It happens every year. But somewhere or the other, some kind of a luck is involved in that. Okay, that strategy clicked for him, but that strategy might not click for everyone. Okay, now when it comes to here, the game plan when you start this preparation has to be that you have to score the highest in mains. The highest possible marks that you can achieve in mains exam, that is something which you have to score. Right? Now how is it possible to score the highest in mains? If you look at even Uma Harti also, what she was telling, what you are going to write in the examination hall, you should know here itself. In the examination hall, you cannot keep on thinking, oh, this is asked, therefore from there the information comes, from there now let me start analyzing that, now let me put the points, and then let me start writing now. You don't have that much time. I just told you, right? How much time that you have in the mains examination? You don't have even enough time to write whatever he is asking you. 4,000 words itself you cannot write. Is it or not? Then where is the time for you to think in the examination hall? You don't have time to think in the examination hall. Everything you should have well prepared before going to examination hall. So when there is a topic like suppose women empowerment or maybe social justice, suppose, If there is some topic like that, then what different varieties of questions UPSC can ask? You should be framing all of them. You should be knowing beforehand. And if this question is asked, then what should be my kind of answer? If this question is asked, what should be my kind of answer? Everything you should be well prepared for every kind of eventuality that is going to happen in your mains examination hall. Everything you should be well prepared. When you are well prepared that, without raising your head, you start writing like a robo. Mains exam is a kind of a robo writing only, nothing else. If you are able to write like a robo, you will be able to finish the paper, or else you cannot finish the paper. I am not just saying that, even the ranker said that. But the very next day she told, right? Right? Anyway. So the point I am trying to make here is, this is very, very crucial for this to happen. For this to happen, you need lots and lots and lots of revisions and practice. Lots of revision and practice. Keep on writing. Every day you have to write. Every day you have to write minimum number of questions. What is that minimum? You can frame for yourself. Okay, some people write 2 questions, some people write 10 questions, some people write 3 hours of questions. Every day they spend 3 hours in writing just answer writing, that's it. That depends upon what you want. Okay, that depends upon what capacity that you have. That all depends upon what is the kind of marks that you want to score in mains. That all depends upon what kind of expertise that you already have in writing mains answers. If someone who already has got extremely very good skills in writing mains answer, then he doesn't require to write so many answers. He keep on revising. Right? But 99.99% of the cases, what you require at this time frame, as soon as you complete your prelims examination, till the time you write mains examination, you need multiple revisions, you need multiple practice answers. Test series, multiple test series, not just one test, multiple test series that you have to attend. Keep on writing, because it's only writing and revisions that is going to fetch you highest marks in mains. It also means that you are not supposed to read new books or new materials in this time frame. No new materials, no new content, no new reference book, no new textbooks. Suppose someone has read D.D. Basu instead of Lakshmikant. For polity, suppose D.D. Basu. He did not read Lakshmikant, and he cleared prelims. He is preparing for mains examination. Okay. Now, I don't. All these years I don't know what is Lakshmikant. Now let me start reading Lakshmikant before mains examination. Gone case. You're gone. You read D.D. Basu only if at all you want to read. Maybe you would have prepared already some notes from D.D. Basu. Then read that notes. Not Lakshmikant. No new things. If you have not read it, that's it. Whatever you read before that, that is something which you have to review. Revision is what? Revision is all about what you already prepared. It's not about new learnings. So you cannot have new learnings before mains examination, after prelims examination. Whatever new content that you are going to read, it will only be the current affairs, nothing else. Because till May, you would have already prepared current affairs. So the current affairs from May to September is something which you are going to read, which is a new content as far as mains exam is concerned. I'm telling you, if you prepare new content here, you are already gone case. Okay? Only thing that you have to do in this time frame is revisions and practice, current affairs, practice, revisions, practice. So the more number of revisions that you are going to do here, the better would be your performance in the mains exam. The best performance in the mains exam is going to give you a rank here. Always ensure that this is more important rather than that one. That is anyway is important, not that that's not important. But this is in your control. You can completely control your mains marks. Whereas interview marks might not be always in your control. Okay? That all depends upon many other factors. There are so many other factors which would be there. Okay? That is something which is subjective in nature, therefore we can discuss it later on. right? So this is something, I think you understood this point, right? The most important, I'm trying to plan it from the backwards. Okay, I'm not starting from here, I'm starting from the back side. Okay, now this is what it is. Now, for those people who are preparing for the very first time, first attempt is, then if you look at this time frame, January, February, March, April, minimum 3 months is required. Minimum 3 months is required for exclusive preparation of prelims. Exclusively. Exclusive preparation means there is a way that you can crack your prelims questions. Since they are MCQs, objective based questions, you need to formulate a game plan to crack those MCQs. It's just that you read everything, you have knowledge, therefore you will be able to get good marks in prelims. No. You cannot crack the prelims question just like that, just by using knowledge. There should be a separate game plan because you know what happens in prelims? Out of 100 questions, maximum there will be 20 to 30 questions only. You definitely know that I know answer for this. Only 20 to 30 questions, you 100% can tell that yes, this is the answer. There will be another 20 questions, you definitely know that you don't know answer. Getting my point? You know that you don't know answer. I'm just putting a symbol here, okay? This symbol tells that you 100% know that you know answer. You have kept the proper answer also. There will be 20 questions. Sometimes there might be luckily 10 questions only. That depends on the case, okay? 20 questions where you definitely know that you don't know answer. Clear on that? I'm clear that I don't answer for this one. I'm clear, okay? What would be the remaining one? 20 plus 20, 40. There might be 60 questions or 30 plus 20, 50. So 50 to 60 questions will be pending, depending upon that year and depending upon your preparation levels. And you know what is the cutoff? Cutoff would be, I'll put it in an average one, okay? Cutoff would be 50 questions. 50 into 2 marks, 100. Okay, that varies. I'm just taking the average because we have 86 as cutoff at some year, 116 as cutoff in some other year also. Are you getting my point? So on an average, to start our strategy, let us put it as 50 questions. Now I'm only at 20 or 30 maximum, and I need to get 50 here. That means minimum 20 to 30 questions I need to get correct, so that I will clear this exam. But these questions is dicey questions. The kind of questions UPSC is asking in prelims examination in ABCD choices, you might be able to eliminate one of them, but you might not be able to eliminate other two, so that you will get the final fourth one, which is the right answer. Okay, so there is some kind of a guesswork which is involved in this one. Now you have to practice that guesswork also. You have to practice that guesswork. See, the preparation is not about just getting this one. The preparation is not just about getting, this is all about your knowledge, right? This is just a knowledge only. Are you getting that? The learning part. When you learn it, there will be certain things which you know, therefore you will be able to answer certain questions. Okay? But there are certain questions, because of learning itself, you identified that I don't know this. Is it or not? Okay. What about this one? Because the cutoff is somewhere in between. Then I need to crack these 50 to 60 questions. And again, I cannot take risk here. Suppose I know 30 questions, I know 100% correct. So I need to get 50 as the cutoff. Then I need to get 20 from here. So I'll choose only those 20. What's the guarantee that those 20 would be correct? Because it's a guesswork, what's the guarantee that 20 would be correct? So you would be attempting 30, 40 or 50. Some of the questions would be correct, some of them would be wrong. You will get net total number of questions minus 1/3 of total number of wrong. That gives a net. That net has to be minimum of 20 there. Is it or not? That net questions has to be minimum of 20. So there is a calculation there again. How many questions to attempt? What is my strike rate? In polity, if I guess some question in polity, whether I will be able to get right answer or not. If it is in economy, whether I will be getting right, guesswork would be right or wrong. I don't know. I need to work out all these things. There might be certain topics where you might, your guesswork might be correct, most likely correct. There are certain topics your guesswork 100% is wrong. For example, if you look at me, I was very good at GS, extremely good at GS in my preparation. But there are two areas where I don't understand. History I don't understand. Biology again I don't understand. Because I belong to MPC engineering, therefore biology is something which is a big question mark for me. Right? Again, what I don't understand is history part. There's so many things to remember, that logical sequence. Anything to do with remembering, I'm away from it. I cannot remember. Okay? That's my problem. It's okay. But anything to with the logic, understanding, I'm extremely good at. Polity, extraordinary. Economy, extraordinary. Geography to top hai. Okay, I should have taken geography as my optional. Okay? Science and technology anyway we'll be good at. Right? Social issues, so theek hai. Right? But the point is, I'm not good at history. I'm not good at biology. But you know what I observed? When I make any guesswork in history, it would be 100% correct. My guesswork in history is extraordinary. But at the same time, though I was extremely good at polity, economy, geography, my guesswork in those three areas is almost wrong. Because my guesswork is going wrong in the areas where I am very comfortable in the subject content. My guesswork is going correct wherever in subject content I am not so good at. That is something which I identify for myself. It might be something else for you. I don't know. It depends on individual. Everyone will have their own way of looking at things. So what I used to do, so in my areas, I never used to make any guesswork. But in history or biology, I was making guesswork. And to be frank with you guys, history, I was better than history optional guys in history. In terms of marks, not in terms of subject. Because guesswork, it worked for me. But it might work or it might not work for you guys. But something you have to work out. That game plan you have to work out here. How to crack these 50 to 60 questions is something which you have to work here. 20 to 30, I'm telling you, most of you guys will be doing that. 20 to 30, you will get that. Some people might get only 20, some people will go for 30. But there are certain guys, I'm telling you, extremely good at it. One such student was my student. He was my mathematics student. Okay? Harsha. You know Harsha. His father also, I know him very well. So that guy, you know, he attempted 62 questions. Attempted 62 questions. Okay? 59 were correct. 59 were correct. 3 were wrong. Look at the strike rate. Look at the strike rate. Okay? Super bright, extraordinary strike rate. Very rarely this kind of a scenario happens, I'm telling you. Very rarely it happens. But look at this story also. Now, what would be his net questions? 1/3 of -1, -1, 59 minus 1. The net is 58. Into 2 is 116. You know what was the cutoff that year? The cutoff was 116.5. He could not clear it. He could not clear it. Okay? This guy is a kind of a guy, if he knows the answer, he puts it. If he doesn't know, generally he doesn't put it. I think this tells that, right? It's an indication of that. Let us talk about his friends. His friends, they attempted 85 questions. 85 questions. Okay? One second. 85 questions. When it comes to this one, They are good at 30 questions. Some 20 questions they don't know. Remaining questions are meant for guesswork. Right? They almost attempted all these questions also along with this one. In the guesswork, the kind of a game plan they have got is, even though they have only, this guy has got 59, this guy has got only 30. These people went on attempting all these questions and were able to cross this 116.5 cutoff mark because of guesswork. That guesswork made his friends cross prelims. After that, they cleared mains. After that, they got into service also. This guy, such an exceptional guy, but still could not clear prelims. He came to me one day, he was crying like anything. Obviously. Then I asked him, what the hell you are doing? This is such an exceptional thing. Why didn't you go for guesswork? He said, why I should go for guesswork, sir? Because I know, whatever I know, I was able to put it. No, yeah, that doesn't happen. You should have a game plan to crack this exam. If you are good at the conceptual things, that's not sufficient. This exam is not just about your knowledge. This exam is all about cracking at different stages, cracking different phases of the exam. Each phase of the exam has its own strategy. You have to crack it in a different way. It's not just about your knowledge. You are exceptionally good at your knowledge levels. No one in India would be having this kind of a track record for that year exam. But still, this guy could not clear not even prelims. So that guy was trained to make guessworks in the next year. And he got into IPS immediately. Obvious. He will be in service, no other way out. Okay? He has to be in service, that kind of exceptional guy. But the point is, everyone requires a strategy, a game plan at different levels. Anyway, now this is what it is meant for. Now it also means that this is the time where you have to do a lot of revisions and practice, and the only new thing should be current affairs here. Current affairs, nothing else, only current affairs. Now if it is only current affairs which are new things, all the things are all revisions and practice, it also means that by the time of 2024 February, you should have already completed your preparation. Preparation means all your learnings, the learnings that you want to. Dil mange more. It has to be before February. So by end of February, you have to have absorbed all the content. Whatever is possible for you for cracking this year exam. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Right? All your learnings, all your knowledge, or all whatever material grinding అంటారు చూసారా, తినేద్దాం అనుకుంటారు చూసారా, తినేయటమే, అవన్నీ has to happen before end of February. Then how much time that you have now? July is already done. August, September, October, November, December, January, and then February. 7 months. So in 7 months, you have to complete your civils preparation. That's what it is right now. Okay? Even if you have to read at the first level of reading. So generally what happens is when you start taking coaching, minimum time it takes is 8.5 months. Minimum time to complete the entire syllabus for the first reading is 8.5 months. Now what you have is 7 months. What do you think now? Shall we go for 2024 or not? Now, yes, it's not that 2024 you cannot make it. You can always make it. But there should be a proper plan for you guys from day 1 onwards. Only then that you can crack 2024 exam, or else plan for 2025. Nothing wrong. Why only 2024? You can go with 25. Yes, you can go for 25. Nothing wrong with that. But whatever it is, the same period of March till September, you have to cut it here. The preparation. When it comes to the preparation of these 3 months plus another 3.5 months or 4 months, whatever, nearly 7 months. That 7 months throughout India, no one can touch it. What you have to do there, you have to do that. That's it. You cannot read new things at that point of time. It has to be always revisions and practice, nothing else. Only current affairs and new things. In that kind of a scenario, if you have to complete by end of February, then what should be your kind of preparation today? Just you have 7 months. It also means that every day, whatever you learn, whatever learnings that you are going to do, whatever kind of knowledge that you are going to achieve, all of them should be in your fingertips on daily basis. Number one. Number two, everything that you are going to do, every minute that you are going to spend from now onwards should be towards your civil services preparation, cracking this year examination. You don't have much time at your disposal. Every minute is important. Every minute has to be spent only on civils preparation, but not just to gain knowledge of outside world. No. Whatever you read, it has to be civil services one. Whatever you think of, it has to be civil services. Whatever you talk with your friends or anyone, it has to be related to civil services. So 24/7 you have to have the thought process exclusively on civil service preparation. Yes, then you can crack this year exam. I am not saying again that you have to read 24 hours, 24/7. The same 7 to 8 hours and before the examination 12 to 14 hours is okay. The same thing holds good. But I'm talking about your thought process. Thinking. Reading is different, thinking is different. And writing is something else again. They're all three different things. And we have to club them in a proper fashion so that your preparation would be most effective one. And suppose when you are walking on the road, suppose instead of thinking something else, you think of, just now I read a topic on environmental degradation. So what kind of a question can be asked by UPSC? Just think of it. Suppose you have already seen a question given in UPSC. Array, this question is already asked, what kind of answer that I can write? What should be the introduction? What should be the conclusion? What should be the body? What kind of points that I can put in the body? So this is the kind of thought process you should have always, every time, 24/7. Then it is possible for you to crack 2024 exam. Or else, think of 2025. This I am telling almost nearly 1 year beforehand. Is it or not? Before your actually writing this examination, nearly so many months before I am telling you that, nearly 10 months before I am telling you that, 10 months is not sufficient for this preparation. Unless otherwise, you are completely focused. That's what I just mentioned in the very first statement that I mentioned in before starting this lecture is, day one onwards, what you have to do for this preparation. That is more important rather than just keep on reading books. Someone was talking about NCERT books. Yes, read NCERT books. Nothing wrong in reading NCERT books, and you have to read NCERT books. But not all NCERT books. Whatever is relevant NCERT book for your preparation, you have to read that. Whichever is not relevant, you don't need to read that. Why should you read that? Suppose you go to any bookstore, you go and ask them, see, I'm preparing for civil services, give me NCERT books. Bookstore. We'll go to bookstore and ask, I'm preparing for civil services, give me NCERT books. What kind of 6th standard to 12th standard? Okay? The list of this much bunch of books would be given to you. And we are such a big idiots that we keep on reading each of them. Some people, they give 3 months of timetable to complete NCERT books. Some people give 6 months of timetable to complete NCERT books. Yes, go ahead, nothing wrong in that. But whatever NCERT book that you read, that book should be relevant to your civil services preparation. That means that book, content in that book should be part of your civil services syllabus. If you read that content, you should be able to answer any question given by UPSC in that content. For example, monsoons or cyclones Okay, suppose monsoons. Monsoon, something is given in the textbook of NCERT. You read that. If you are able to answer a question given by UPSC in prelims or in mains on monsoons, then if you are able to answer that, then whatever you read is correct. But you just read NCERT, it's like a school book, right? You read NCERT, you understood everything, but given a question you are not able to answer. Whatever effort that you kept on this book is useless. Your time is waste. You are wasting your time. Instead, you read that book, look at previous questions, not able to answer, now try to answer that by again reading the same book, and now try to answer it. You read now in the perspective of the way UPSC is asking question. Getting my point? There are two aspects here. One, you read the book. The way you generally read a book, you read the book. Completed it. Now look at NCERT previous year civil science question. You were able to answer. Very good. That means whatever you read according to the way you are supposed to read. You are not able to answer the question. Then come back again. Read this material on monsoons the way UPSC asked that question. Now your perspective would have changed. Because UPSC asking question like this, why I am reading the other way? Now you read the way UPSC is asking questions. That means every chapter that you are going to read, you have to read from the way UPSC is asking questions. Every minute that you are going to spend should be spent on UPSC. Getting my point? Okay, anyway. So it also means that here, in this context, you don't have enough time. Therefore, be very, very, very serious now. Don't delay your preparation further. If you come to me after 2 or 3 months, no one can help you. Even I cannot help you. Because already we are delayed. July itself is delayed preparation. There are people who started their preparation in the month of January and February itself. You know, we have February batch also. We started a batch in the month of February, one batch, March one batch, April one batch, May one batch, June one batch, July one more batch. So every month we have batches because we don't want to miss a student coming early. The early the preparation, more time you will get for revisions. More the number of revisions, better would be your performance either here or here. Are you getting that? Fine. Anyway. In fact, we got little deviated when it comes to prelims examination, but it's okay. Let me catch up with the time. Okay. Let me come to the civil services preparation. Like any other kind of examination, even civil service preparation has some kind of learnings. That's what we are discussing all this time. The learnings should be there. Okay. Now, when it comes to learnings, there are certain things which are very, very important. You should definitely know what to read. I just mentioning that. Okay. What to read and what not to read also you should know. Okay. What to read and what not to read. Where do you get this from? Directly syllabus tells you that. It also means that every time, every minute, your syllabus should be in your pocket. Or else in your books. Or else in your bag. Or else in your mobile. And mobile ekkado moolu kuchonunte waste. Okay, mobile, it should be very much accessible to you in front of this one. Okay, every day you have to see the syllabus. Every day I am telling you. Every day you have to see the syllabus. Not that I am saying that you by heart the syllabus. No, I am not saying that. What I am trying to tell you, every day you see the syllabus. Why you have to see the syllabus? Because every day you are going to read new things. That new thing, whether it is part of the syllabus or not. Whether it is here or here. If it is here, I will read. If it is here, I am not going to read it. Getting my point? So you should be very, very clear. Day one, it starts from day one. Today, it starts. If today is the day one, it starts from today itself. Today itself, whatever you are going to read has to be relevant to your preparation or else it is useless. How do you know that? Look at the syllabus. Syllabus has to be always with you. Always carry the syllabus with you. Right? Okay. Next, most important thing, how to read. How to read. Okay. Obviously, I just mentioned it, right? Previous year question papers. any small thing that you are reading, you have to refer to syllabus and also refer to previous year question paper, because you should definitely know whether you are reading in the right way or not. How does UPSC ask a question on that topic? Either it might be monsoons, or it might be preamble, or it might be parliament, or it might be constitutional amendment, or it might be financial emergency, or it might be farmers' troubles, or it might be any kind of economic problem, or whatever it might be. But everything that you are going to read has to be part of your syllabus. Almost on every topic of the syllabus there are previous questions. So you should know what kind of questions UPSC is asking. I'm going to tell you some questions. I'm going to show you some questions. How the UPSC actually framing the questions. Why they are framing the way they are actually framing the questions. Okay. So unless you refer to previous year question papers, whatever you are reading is useless. Unless you answer previous year questions, whatever you are reading is completely nonsense, useless. So everything that you are going to read has to be part of your syllabus, has to be in such a way that you are able to answer the previous questions. That is more important. Got it? Chalo, let us look at the questions. These are not my questions. These are all UPSC previous questions only. Okay? Some sample questions which are already given. What to read, what not to read. It directly tells that this is every question given is part of your syllabus. Syllabus clearly prescribes that this is what is being mentioned. This is what you have to read. Okay? Take anything. For example, see here, answer in 150 words. 150 words means a 10 marker. Obviously, it was asked in 2019. So 2022 also I have taken 2018 also I have taken certain questions. Okay, not just 1 year. Suppose if you look at 2019 question, just giving 1 or 2 questions, let us look into them. Discuss the causes of depletion of mangroves and explain their importance in maintaining coastal ecology. Even when I was preparing for this examination, mangrove was important. I prepared on mangroves at that point of time. Okay. Today also we have a question on mangroves. See. Okay, it is part of the syllabus. It is there in the syllabus. Every year it can be asked. There is always a potential that this year also it can be asked. Why not? Because it's a kind of a question. It's part of the syllabus. Anything can be asked from the syllabus. Okay. And generally, you know what happens? Though it might be part of the syllabus, why that year that question is asked? There will be some current relevance. That also can be ascertained. Okay, we'll see that. Anyway, look at this question. Assess the role of British imperial power in complicating the process of transfer of power during 1940s. 250 words. This is part of history. That too, India's freedom struggle, national freedom struggle, or modern India we call. Okay, wherein the kind of freedom struggle that our freedom fighters and then between Britishers and our Indians. Okay, but finally they have decided that yes, we are going to transfer the power to Indians. In the process of that, so many things happened, so many series of events happened. Okay, everyone understands all these things, right? But look at the kind of question that UPSC has asked, the framing of the question. So beautifully they frame the question. They were not asking you what are the series of events that happened in 1940s in the process of transfer of power to Indians. They did not ask that. What did they ask? The role of British Empire in complicating the process of transfer of power. They transferred the power. Everyone knows that. But how they actually complicated the process. So your answers should be very, very specific. Very, very specific in the elements where they actually complicated it. That's it. Nothing beyond that. But this is part of the syllabus. Because modern history is part of the syllabus. Number one. Number two. If you look at this question properly, there are two types of content in this one. One is static content, which already happened. Static. Something happened. But there is something beyond that static content. That is called analysis of the static content. The analysis means this is what the analysis. Unless you understand and analyze whatever happened at that point of time, you will not be able to answer this question. You have to assess it. Which is something not everyone can do that. All these things you should have already thought of before going to examination hall. It's not that in the examination hall that, yeah, in the British imperial power, actually they transferred power to India. What are the series of events? 1940, what happened? 1941, what happened? 1942, 1943, 1944. What are all those committees that were there? Commissions that were there? What are the recommendations? Blah, 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 blah. Series of things. By hiding all these things is just useless. You should know them. Not that you should not know them. That's not just sufficient. Whatever is the static content, UPSC will ask static content also. Okay? For example, look at this one. Discuss the role of Vice President of India as the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Direct question. Itna direct question you won't find anywhere. Itna direct question hai na? One of the roles of Vice President of India is as being as the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Discuss his role. That's it. Direct question. Just it. That's it. Itna static hai, direct static hai wo. Is it or not? Even if you look at the next one, the Attorney General is the Chief Legal Advisor and Lawyer of the Government of India. Discuss. Kya hai? Itna silly question hai, simple question hai. Are you getting that? Yes. UPSC will always ask questions like this and also questions like this. Both of them you should be ready before going to examination hall. Both of them you should be ready, is not just like everything should be here. Everything not only should be here, you should have actually written all of them also as answers. Are you getting that? Everything, whatever is here, you should have already written them. Once you should have already written them, whatever is here. Are you getting that? That is the kind of preparation that you require. Look at how can biotechnology improve the living standards of farmers. When was there? When I was preparing for this examination, I started my preparation 1997. 97 when I started, I don't know how many of you are born by that time. When I started my preparation, biotechnology was the booming at that time. Okay, you know that what is that technology? Biotechnology, BT cotton. Remember BT cotton? Now it might be very old thing for you guys. At that point of time, BT cotton was like revolutionary. BT cotton seeds. Okay, biotechnology related cotton seeds. Okay, it was like a revolutionary. Wow, how can we change the anatomy of the seed and then grow the kind of crop that we want to grow, and we can control that also. How can we control it? Because generally we feel that it's all nature. But at that point of time, yes, that was revolutionary in nature. But today it is like a generic one. There are a lot many other things. We are talking about artificial intelligence all these days. Okay, but this is something like a very old thing. Whatever. So, but the point is, when is it asked? Question. The question. It's not about 2099 question, right? 2019 is the question. Are you getting my point? Even 2019 also, still the same controversy related to biotechnology in improving the standards of farmers still can be a question. I will show you some more questions like this also anyway. Financial emergency. Under what circumstances can the financial emergency proclaim the President of India? Direct question. Tuck. Direct question, financial emergency. See, the point I'm trying to make is that direct questions, easy questions, I don't say them as silly questions, but direct questions UPSC is asking. Throughout India, everyone will write all these questions, I'm telling you. Everyone is going to write all these questions because everyone prepares all these questions. Okay? Yeah, maybe this is the place where these kind of questions are the places where your actual preparation, you can reflect it here. But these are certain things which are standard and regular questions. Let us see some more questions. How to read? So many are there. It looks like congested, but I think you are able to read them?
Yes.
Last? Able to read them, right? Okay, fine. Now look at that one. Because people in the live telecast, they will not be able to see them, but anyway, I'm trying to read for them also. Look at the first question. Mention core strategies for the transformation of aspirational districts in India and explain the nature of convergence, collaboration and competition for its success. In 2018 that was asked. Why in 2018 that was asked? Because it was in 2018 that the aspirational districts were proposed. What are aspirational districts anyway? These days also it has come in the news. UP also, those people, okay, anyway, forget about it. What are aspirational districts? Simple thing. Aspirational districts means throughout India, there are so many districts. Okay. Out of all these districts, there are certain districts which are identified based on Human Development Index. What is Human Development Index? In different parameters like literacy level, okay, health infrastructure, employability, and all other infrastructure facilities and every parameters if you see, in those parameters, the lowest level of districts, good ones we don't need to focus on that, but the lowest level of districts, so they are identified. Instead of saying that they are poor districts or they are worst districts, what they said is they are, in the positive sense, we mentioned them as aspirational districts, so that we aspire to bring them into next level of Human Development Index, wherein all the parameters of the Human Development Index that I was talking about, all these parameters will improvise in those districts, so that they also come to next level. Are you getting my point? So that was framed in year 2018. That was really extraordinary thought process. Generally, we all these years, government of India or any government that has come, they always felt like they never thought of a district as a unit. Of course, in terms of administration they have done, but in terms of development they have never considered district as a unit. Okay, they are always looking for like for Garibi Hatao, okay, or poverty alleviation programs for all, okay, or employment generation programs, MJNREGA. Okay, like this, there's so many programs were there. Even some of the questions would come in those lines as well. Okay, though there were so many. Look at one of the questions. See, this is the next page. Despite implementation of various programs for eradication of poverty by the government in India, poverty is still existing. See, right? These are the another kind of topics where you can see all these questions can appear any point of time. Though so many things have happened, they never thought like district can be taken as one unit and then start developing that in terms of making them as aspirational district, whatever. Work from home. Look at this. Work from home 2022. Latest, contextual, right? And then see, Indian Regional Navigational Satellite System in Science and Technology 2018. Why that was asked in 2018? Current affairs, it has come. So if you look at all these questions, somewhere or the other, it has got some relevance to current affairs. So that's what is the importance of newspaper. Newspaper is something which is mandatory for you. The best one in terms of newspaper is that daily read newspaper and make notes out of it. If you are not able to do that, every Sunday, keep all the previous 6 days plus Sunday newspapers and then start reading from back. Because any news item that comes, there will be a series of events that happen. There might be conclusion somewhere in between. So first you will read the conclusion. When you read the conclusion, remaining things are not required. You're getting that? So you can avoid so many other things. So you can save hell lot of time. Or the third way of doing things is, weekly someone will be providing you the synopsis. Content, current affairs magazine, weekly current affairs magazine. We prepare actually weekly current affairs magazine. You read only weekly current affairs magazine, or monthly current affairs magazines, or maybe PT 365, one yearly magazine or yearly compilation of all the current affairs. You read just that. Everyone has their own strategies. There's nothing like this is best or that is not best. Okay. The ideal way of preparing for civil service exam is you have to track the events. That's how you start analyzing the events. That's how you understand the interlinking of one issue with the multiple other issues. That's how you'll be able to interrelate between polity, economy, geography, history and all those stuff. That's how your answer would be a kind of a comprehensive understanding of the entire subject or syllabus, rather than just understanding exclusive polity or exclusive economy, exclusive geography like that. It should be a comprehensive understanding. That is possible when you start reading newspaper on daily basis or at least weekly basis. But not like just read the compilations and you understand everything. There might be certain students like that. They are the people who already have that skill of that compilation of all those things even before starting their preparation. We leave them aside. Okay, but what we have to do at this juncture when you start this preparation, it has to be like you have to learn each and everything, that too in a comprehensive manner. Okay, getting my point? So, electronic voting machines, they were introduced at my point of time. Okay, in 99 or 2000 they were introduced. Okay. So when they were introduced, there were a lot of controversies. How can elections be conducted on a machine? Okay, that machine might be a corrupt machine, or whether the machine works properly or not. There were so many issues at that point of time. Today also it's the same thing. Even today also we are talking about the same thing. Look at this question. This is asked in 2018. And similar kind of a question, role of Election Commission of India. Again, 2022 question. See, all the organic state, look at organic state, Sikkim. Sikkim is the first organic state. Why this question was asked in 2018? Because in 2018 it was declared as organic state. There is one question in 2016, pulses, P-U-L-S-E-S. Pulses was declared as 2016 was declared as year of pulses by United Nations. The question was direct question, discuss the relevance of growing of pulses in Indian economy. Everyone reads pulses. Every year you read pulses, about pulses. You might be reading in geography or you might be reading in economy also, in that context. But still, why that year that question was asked? Because 2016 was declared as year of pulses by United Nations. So obviously you can expect a question. So similarly this year it might be, what is that? Millets. There can be a question on millets this year mains exam. How the question would be framed? Different varieties you have to think of. Think in those lines. In 2016 it was asked. Why not in 2023? It can be asked. But it might not be the same question. Year 2023 is declared as year of millets by United Nations. Discuss the role of growing of millets in India. You cannot expect the same line of question. But same line of question along with that some other varieties of questions you try to frame for yourself and try to get answers. Okay, that should be your thought process always. Okay, anyway, some more questions here. Okay, caste system. These are those important topics. Every year they are important. Poverty eradication programs, caste system. Look at this. Caste system is adjuring new identities and associational forms. Hence, caste system cannot be eradicated in India. Comment on that. Okay, what a beautiful question. Look at this, formation of new states. My time, the first essay in 1997 when I started my preparation, the first essay that I prepared is formation of new states. That was the title. And that year there was a question. 1997 essay paper, there was a question on formation of new states. Okay, even today also, 2018 the question, whether formation of new states in recent times is beneficial or not. But the question, if you see, to Indian economy. So it's very specific in nature. The question is very specific. Okay. And then administrative reorganization, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Women's movement, see, women's movement. Okay. Water harvesting, globalization. These are all those concepts. Every year you can expect a question from here. Okay. Anyway. Let us come back to this one. So having seen so many varieties of questions, now let us come back to content, which I already discussed with you guys. So we'll have a static kind of a content and dynamic kind of. Dynamic means what? Current relevant kind of. Okay. And then you have analysis of static content and you have analysis of dynamic content as well. We have already seen certain questions. Okay. And if you even remember what Umar has said is, you cannot think of in examination hall how to write. Everything it should be here before going to examination hall. How you keep it here, there are different ways. Okay? One person keep on reading, one person keep on writing, one person does both the things or whatever. But what is more important is you have to remember all of them and how to do that. So I'll just spend 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, just 5 to 10 minutes on, there is a scientific approach for this one. I will just explain that scientific approach. Whether to follow that or not is a different story. Okay, when you follow that one, it becomes very easy for you to remember everything before going to exam. I'm not telling that you have to by heart everything. I'm not saying that. Instead of by hearting everything, spending, because I think I mentioned to you in the beginning itself, I cannot remember so easily. I cannot by heart things. If you give me one line, if you ask me to by heart, I cannot by heart it. Okay, if there is logic in that, I will explain that. The meaning of that I can explain, but I cannot by heart the things. So that's how I realized, no, what if I don't want to by heart, but still I should be able to remember everything, I should be able to recollect everything. How is it possible? So there should be some scientific way of doing things. That is something which I can explain to you in next 5 to 10 minutes to come. Okay, fine. So before understanding how to remember things, just think of why we forget, how do we forget, what is the rate at which we forget. Okay, there is something called as forgetting curve. This is not what I have drawn. This is something available in the internet. This is just a copy paste. That's just a copy paste. Okay, you can type Ebbinghaus forgetting curve, you will get it. Okay, already చేసేస్తున్నామా, దొరికిందా, కనిపించిందా? ఒక్కొక్కడు ఒకలా గీస్తాడు, ఇది వన్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్. మనకి ఈజీగా ఉంటుందని చెప్పి ఈ బొమ్మ పెట్టాను. ఓకే, వాట్ ఇట్ టెల్స్ యూ is very simple thing. This is time, how much time elapsed after just now you learned something. Okay, just now a class gets completed, or just now you read something in the notes or maybe in the reference book. Okay, just now, immediately, assuming that you are able to remember and recollect 100% of whatever you learned just now. In a span of 20 minutes, what you are going to remember is only 58%. 42% is already lost. In how much time? 20 minutes only. Just 20 minutes. Nearly 42%, nearly 40% is already lost. In 1 hour, look at 1 hour. What remained is only 44%. So what you lost is 56%. That means in 1 hour time, more than 50% is already lost. 1 hour, just 1 hour. That means suppose you stay in Kukatpalli. You came here to attend class. You attended class. Now you started traveling to Kukatpalli. By the time you reach home, 50% is lost. That's what it tells. Is it or not? That means that you are losing your memory, your content in your brain very fast. The rate of forgetting is very fast. Look at 9 hours. Look at 1 day, 24 hours. Only 33% remains. 67% is already lost. 1 week, 1 month. Look at 1 month. What remained is only 21%. What is lost? Nearly 80% is lost. Nearly 79%. Let it be nearly 80%. 1 month you lost 80% of whatever you learned. You know, our coaching goes for 10 months. At the end of 10th month, where you stand? Everything is lost already. Whatever you learned, already lost. Now again you have to start revision after 10 months. Okay, when you start revision, what happens? The 10 months is lost. At least it will take another 6 to 8 months to revise the entire first 10 months. By the time 6 months happens, 6 months you revised, what happens? Again lost. Again it requires another for 3 to 4 months. So these many revisions are required, not for just you and me, for everyone. For at least most of us. At least 99% of us. Okay. It also means that somewhere or the other we have to defeat this one. We have to stop forgetting this one. The only possibility that, this is based on entire scientific research, not my thing. It's all about research only. Okay. So the research tells us that in order to reverse this process, the only way of doing things is revisions. And the best way, along with revisions, you always do practice also. Practice means for MCQs practice, or in terms of our case, it's MCQs as well as descriptive based on the topic. Some topics are both in prelims and mains, some topics are only in prelims, some topics are only in mains. Okay, based on that, our practice would be in terms of the topic relevance. Okay, so it's not just about revision, it's also about revision and practice. So when do we have to do this revision? So there is no proper plan for everyone actually. Generally what happens is, when we have to do revision means, polity I think I forgot, therefore let me start revising polity. You start revising polity. Suddenly while reading polity, economy also I forgot, let me start revising economy. No, that is completely arbitrary in nature. You should definitely have a very scientific approach of revisions and practice. It should be a very scientific approach. What should be that scientific approach? Look at this one. Look at this one. So beating the forgetting curve. Okay, repetition means revision only. Repetition means revision, and actually it is what is important, repetition as well as practice. Together is the best ideal way of doing things. Anyway, now look at this one. So this is the original curve. 100% here. This is the original curve. This is the original forgetting curve. Original one. Okay, just now we have seen it, right? Kept in a timeline. This is like this. Now what you have to do is, you have to start revisions and practice. That is up to you. When we have to start revisions and practice at different time spacing. Okay, what should be the time spacing? First revision, it has to start here. When is that? 10 minutes. Again, this is not what I am saying again. Internet. Okay. Now, how do you know all these things? Because I also prepared for civil service exam. One of my optionals was, of course, it was mathematics is the first optional. We used to have two optionals. Okay, one is mathematics, other is psychology. In psychology, one of the chapters is called memory. Okay, in memory we discuss a lot of internally, we discuss many things. But additionally, we discuss these kind of things as well in our syllabus, psychology syllabus. Okay, anyway. I am trying to use my knowledge of that here for our benefit, that's it. I could not use it at that point of time, at least I can use it now, right, for your benefit. Anyway, so 10 minutes. Let us come back to this one. 10 minutes, that means as soon as you learn something, within a span of 10 minutes, if you revise and if you practice also, then you will regain 100%. You will regain 100% of memory. Now, again you regain, but still the forgetting is a law of nature. Again start forgetting. You again start forgetting. But the difference between now and previous one, now and the previous one is that earlier the rate of forgetting was very fast. Now the rate of forgetting is little slow. The rate at which we are forgetting is little slow. Earlier it steeply dropped down. It steeply dropped down, but now it is not steep, it is little bit, not so high. Okay. Now, second revision, this is the first one, this is the second one. Second revision you have to do in 24 hours, one day. Again, you are here now, 100% again. You are going back to 100%. Again decay starts. Again the decay, though it starts, the rate of decay is not so high when compared to the previous one. The third repetition has to start in a week's time, 7 days. Therefore, again it comes here. But if you start observing the rate of decay, the rate at which it is decaying, it is getting slower with each and every revision and practice. And the third one, fourth one is 31 days. And then fifth one, it is 3 months, quarter. Now, still there is a decay. If you see that, still there is a decay. Decay would be there, you cannot avoid it. But the amount of memory loss is so minimal here. If you draw a flat line, this is the amount of memory loss that you have. Very minimal. Very minimal. Compared to this one, if this is the one, compared to this one, see, this is the one. 3 months mein, how much you are going to lose? Right? And when compared to this one, how much you are going to lose, right? It also means that the revisions and practice are so important in our preparation. It has to be part of our preparation rather than a separate entity. You should not be revising separately. It should be like part of your preparation itself. You should be revising and practicing as part of your learning process itself. That means it's not just about learning, its revisions and practice also shall go together. Now what I have done from my side is that since I have this very strong scientific background, I created a program called as Abhyasa. Of course, you understand the Sanskrit term meaning of it. Abhyasa is all about practice. Okay. So we call this Abhyasa as revision and practice both. So what we do from my side, say one thing. This is something in 10 minutes I can do. I can also do that provided you people support it. But I will tell you what is the 10 minutes mean. You know what does the meaning of 10 minutes? Within 10 minutes you have to revise. It means that as soon as the class gets completed, once we complete this class, okay, I will just give you synopsis of whatever is being taught in the class as a teacher. Revision, or I will ask one of you to come here and speak out the summary of whatever we discussed in today's class. Getting my point? Okay. These are two things, any one of them we can do. That is possible. Okay? Or you immediately, as soon as the class gets completed, you stay back here. Don't go immediately. Stay back here, close your eyes, and then don't go with meditation. I'm not talking about meditation. Close your eyes and think of last few hours. What is that teacher taught to you? Rewind. But for that you need to have a lot of motivation to do this one. Okay, you should be highly self-motivated to that. But this is highly effective one. See, you can see it, right? It's highly effective one, right? Next, what I can do from my side again is one day revision. Okay, so in Abhyasa we have something called as daily test. So daily you are supposed to write a test. Today you completed a class. 6:30 to 9 you have a class. 9 to 9:30 you will have a test on the topics discussed in yesterday's class. So 24 hours. So 24 hours you are supposed to write a test. Next, weekly test. 7-day. Weekly test. So last 1 week whatever happened in the classes you are supposed to revise, come and write a test. Today these people have weekly test. Weekly test is going on. Okay, now weekly test, this is monthly. So even before monthly I created one more thing called as fortnightly test. This is my innovation. Fortnightly is not that one, but it's my innovation because I want 5, because we are missing this one. Okay, therefore I introduced a new one called as fortnightly test. That means every 2 weeks you have to again revise and write a test. And then monthly test, here it is, monthly test. 3 months it is quarterly test. 5 times if you revise and practice, nothing can stop you. You will not be forgetting anything. Whatever you learn throughout your life, it will stay with you. Not just for this exam I am telling. This is not just for this exam. This is throughout your life. You will never ever forget anything throughout your life, whatever you learned here. But Abhyasa is important. Every day you will be writing a test. Every day, weekly test, fortnightly test, monthly or quarterly test. Depending upon the batch, today they have weekly test, or there might be a fortnightly test or monthly test or quarterly test, depending upon the batch. The Sunday they are going to write it. Right? So that is something which has to be religiously followed. Number 1. First thing is, whatever you learn has to be relevant to your preparation based on the syllabus. How to read has to be based on your previous question papers. Next one is revisions and practice also, they have to go together along with your learnings on daily basis. How it should go? Based on daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly and quarterly tests. It's very critical. Then these three go together and nothing can stop you from cracking that year exam, provided if you follow these things. Anyway, this is one more diagram taken from this one. I thought like it is colorful, therefore I kept it. That's it. None of them I have drawn. Okay. Though I am very good at drawing arts, but still. So forgetting, this is the original forgetting curve. But another big waste of one theory is that even the very first instance you cannot remember 100%. Getting my point? You cannot remember 100% even in the 0th second also. Okay? It's quite natural, we know it, right? So when you that's the reason. When you start revising here itself, then it goes to 100%. Whatever you learned just now, you revise now itself. So it goes then 100% and then decay starts. Somewhere you intercept, again revision, that's how it goes. Okay, whatever, this is additional thing, not required for us. Let me give the synopsis of whatever we just discussed regarding Abhyasa. Abhyasa is important. Abhyasa is literally important for you guys if you really want to crack 2024 exam. Even if you want to crack 2025 also, this is important. You cannot miss this one by any means. Okay. Anyway, so daily test, weekly, fortnightly, monthly and quarterly tests. And what we are included in that one, not just conducting tests, we give daily evaluation and feedback also. We have separate mentor support on that. Mentors would be evaluating your answer scripts. And you can directly talk to the mentors at any given point of time. They will not only clear your doubts and conceptual doubts in the regular content, but also they will tell you how to write a better answer, writing practice techniques as well. Okay. This is how we need to write on daily basis. Just writing is also not sufficient. You need to get the feedback so that you can improvise on that. Okay. So let me give the synopsis. Learnings. What to read, what not to read based on syllabus, how to read based on previous question papers, and the revisions and practice based on Abhyasa. Okay, this is something which is Abhyasa plus, which we'll do it later. This is complete mentorship support one. Once you complete the coaching classes, after that, we'll select top 40 candidates. This was there before Corona time. In the time of Corona, we are not supposed to run any study hall. Therefore, we close that one. Now, this year we are again going to start this one. But there are different phenomena altogether. We'll discuss this later. This is all about one slide on analog. And Majjala this kuch beta na. Okay. Because most of them are already discussed. Right. So, learning, revision, practice technique. Faculty, obviously their experienced and mentorship support is there. And one more thing is one-to-one counseling with me. You are supposed to talk to me regularly. And you will be anyway talking with yourself and with your friends also. That anyway happens. And you will be anyway talking to teachers also. But there is one additional phenomena that you need to talk to me also. So it's one-to-one counseling session with me. It's more than counseling, it is all about, we have an element of counseling in that. That's how we call it as counseling. So it is all about you guys talking to me about your issues alone, not about the entire batch. Entire batch, we have people who can take care of that. Okay? It is about you individually with me. You might be having specific issues about your preparation. I'm talking about preparation only, nothing else. I'm not talking about your family, what's happening. Okay, I'm not, of course, I'm little concerned about it, that's up to sure, because if you don't have any pressures from family, you can perform better here. That's up to sure. Okay, but I cannot come to your family and then start resolving your issues. But at least I can resolve your personal issues at here, at this level. I can do that. That's my job. Okay, so any kind of issues that you have regarding your preparation or your personal front, okay, that also we can resolve. Because coming from psychology as my background in civils preparation, not in academics. Academics, I am not psychology guy, okay? Because I know this preparation very well. Okay, what kind of mental disturbances that you will face tomorrow, that I know them. So today I don't go with one-to-one with you guys. I will wait for 1 month to come. Okay, in this 1 month, whatever kind of troubles or problems that you faced, if at all you have any such, then you can always talk to me. Number two, I start monitoring your progress also. Like when you write daily tests, Abhyasa tests, what kind of marks that you are getting. Suppose 10 MCQs I give you daily. Out of 10 MCQs you are getting 5 marks. Then why 5 marks? Why it should not be more than that? So we'll discuss that. What's wrong with you guys then? What's wrong with your preparation? Is something that you have to modify in your preparation, or something that you have to modify your timetable, on daily timetable or daily routine, or something that you have to modify in your approach itself, or something additionally that you have to do, or maybe you should start writing, making notes, or you should start reading this book or that book, or you should be talking to some person which I tell you to talk to. Okay, so there might be so many things which some of them might be working out for you individually. That is something which I can discuss and give you a solution for that. Okay, to the extent maybe for some of the students even I was able to resolve certain issues to the extent of OCDs also. I don't know how many of you under OCDs, obsessive compulsive disorders. Like one of our student, he came to me, sir, I have a problem, sir. Say one-to-one conversation. What is the problem? Sir, I don't know whether I should tell you this or not. It's okay, man, you tell me, I can understand your problem. So sir, I have a problem with the mobile. So if I have a mobile here, you are reading, he studies in the library, our library. Not now, it's almost 5 years back. Reading, so without his knowledge, his hand goes. And it goes like this, and it opens, and this goes down. This all happens without his knowledge. All happens without his knowledge. Then I asked him, what solution that you found out for yourself? So, sir, I switch off this and keep it in my bag. Wow, very good. Then what happened? I asked him. See, if that solved his problem, he will not be talking to me that one, right? It means that he did not solve the problem. So I asked him, when you keep it here, what happened? So when I keep it here, when I'm reading, again my hand goes here. If it is not there, it goes to my bag. Getting my point? This all happens without his knowledge. He starts playing games. So, of course, we had a different variety of solution for this guy. It's a different story. What I'm trying to tell you is that even if this kind of problem is there, whether I will be able to solve or not, I don't know. If I'm able to solve it, it's good, right? It's good that I'm able to solve it. Even if I'm not able to solve it also, maybe I will tell that this is how you can solve a problem. Even I might not directly solve a problem, I can suggest you this is how you can solve a problem. Okay, that is something which I can work it out for you guys. But I keep tracking you guys. That's important. Okay, Abhyasa, I told Abhyasa Plus. Samiksha is a weekly magazine and monthly magazine also. Weekly we give a soft copy to you guys. Monthly we give a printout. Printout in the sense it comes as a magazine, a book. Okay, proper magazine. Okay, test series anyway would be there. Study materials are there. We have some beautiful study materials. Okay, with a lot of research that we created certain beautiful study materials. Some of them are exceptional. You don't find those kind of materials anywhere. Okay, daily current affairs analysis videos. See, what I started doing for the last batch, from last batch is that, last one, not last year, this year only. We started doing 2 things on daily basis for current affairs. So daily morning, what happens when you, everyone says that read newspaper, read newspaper. So when you open newspaper, what to read in that, you don't know, right, again. And then I'm saying that what to read, what not to read, you should know. It should be part of your syllabus or else you should not read. But entire newspaper, I should also tell you, right, this you read, this you don't read also. So we started a new series called as daily news articles. So in the Hindu newspaper, since we have taken Hindu as well as Express, okay, in both these papers, specifically which page, which article you have to read. I will give you a document on that, on daily basis, okay. Now, If you click that, it goes and opens that article also. I get my point. So instead of you purchasing the newspaper, if you already have it, well and good. Even if you don't have it also, you just click that, it opens a window where you will have that article available there. So you can read directly there itself. Okay, that's how you can save your time in reading newspaper. That is from my side, my effort. Number 2, there is something called as DNS, Daily News Snippets. Daily News Snippets means every news item that we have, which is important as far as our exam is concerned, relevant to our exam, I will not only give you that article as given in the daily news articles, I will give you synopsis of that. The most important points important in that article, I will give you in bullet points, not as paragraphs, as bullet points. This article, bullet points. This article, bullet points. This article, bullet points. This article, bullet points. Not only the articles mentioned in the DNA, but more number of articles would be covered here. So it's bullet points. So it gives you summary of what is there in that. Getting my point? No, it is not any analysis there. I am not giving any analysis there. It is just what is there in newspaper. Getting my point? It is not analysis. What is there in newspaper, I am giving you that. Okay, so that when you read newspaper and then when you read DNS or DNA, you will understand that, yeah, I understood this one. These are the points which are covered. Okay, and weekly magazine and monthly magazine will have those analysis with you guys. That entire analysis is done in weekly magazine as well as in monthly magazines. Getting my point? So you'll have static content, you'll have dynamic content, you'll have analysis of that also. Are you getting that? Okay, that's what it is. Anyway, okay, let us move forward. Just give me a minute. All at 12:30, yeah? By the way, any questions till now? ఇంతవరకు డిస్కషన్లో ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? ఏం లేవు కదా? Okay, now this I wanted to discuss this particular Nikhil study case study to illustrate to you what is important and what is not important in this overall game plan. This guy under essay, all these things, topics that we have, papers, marks, okay. In 2015, what were his marks? In 2016, what were his marks? This is the guy who cracked this exam. Okay, this was his rank. Right. If you look at this essay, earlier he got 45, now he got 158. So essay is a paper which can make a difference. That's what it means. Are you getting that? So you might get this mark, you might get this mark also. That means huge hell lot of difference it can make, essay paper. So you need to focus on essay also. Okay. Here if you see, on an average 100 itself is good number here. Okay. Crossing 100 is always going to give you bonus marks. Here also somewhere around 90 to 100 is good one. Here also nearly 100 is good one. Here also it's a similar kind of a scenario. Okay, somewhere 90 to 100, sometimes may reaching 110 also is a good one. I am not going for 120 there. 120 is exceptional score. Okay, at the same time getting below 90 also, this side exceptional score. Okay, there is no use of that score. See, whatever paper that you are going to write, the mark should add something to your final merit, right? If you have 70 or 80 here, what's the use of that mark? That paper is gone paper. Okay. Now, one more thing which anyway made some difference is optional. If you see, you can get these kind of marks, you can get these kind of marks as well. And these are not highly exceptional marks, just 305 only. But still 300 is a good mark to score. Okay. So this is optional, which is important here. Lastly, look at this mark. These are interview marks. Okay, this guy could not go in the previous interview. This is average score. This guy has an average interview mark, but still he got into service. Why? Why he got into service? Because of exceptionally very good mains scores. Still, even with an average score of this one, he got into service. Now imagine with this kind of exceptional main score, this guy scoring exceptional marks in interview, where he will be? Single digit. He will be in single digit mark. Are you getting my point? So this guy, he don't want to take risk. He don't want to take risk. Why he don't want to take risk? Because he is not in the border stage here. He definitely know that yes, I have very good marks here in mains. Because clear cut you can see the difference. Okay, I have very good marks. I don't want to take any risk. Let me go safe. So he went on safe. He cracked this exam. Okay. So that's one tendency. This is all possible because of this one, nothing else. Out of this also, this one and this one, they are the one which made all the difference for this guy. But these days, even GS4 also, ethics paper also is very important. You can score very high, 120. People are scoring 130s also in ethics paper. So every 10 mark there is very crucial for you guys, right? Now, essay paper I already discussed. Okay, essay paper is divided into two parts, two essays. Most likely these days we are getting philosophical essays. So you should be tuned yourself to go with the philosophical essays. At the same time, what I have done in our institute is that regarding essay, every week you will have essay contest. Essay competition would be there every week. Every Saturday they are supposed to write an essay. Every Saturday I will announce an essay topic. Once the essay is completed, I will announce an essay topic. They will get 1 week time to write an essay. Okay. Another thing that I am introducing this batch is, suppose Saturday I announce, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Again Saturday they are going to write essay. This is essay I am going to announce. So every Thursday I am going to conduct a kind of a group discussion kind of a thing on the topic given for essay. In this, all the points related to the essay will be jotted and then we'll create a document. If you read that document, you will be able to write this essay very effectively. Getting that? So every Saturday you will be writing an essay invariably, provided you are interested in writing an essay. That is something which this year we started this one. Earlier we just had only group discussions, but we never had essay writing competitions. But now we introduced that essay writing competition as well. Okay, now what we could see from this marks is that optional is really very critical, very, very important. So without optional, it's very difficult to crack this exam, right? Okay. Now someone was asking about optional. So this is about optional. Optional. There are different criteria. Generally people choose optional. The most important being interest. Without interest in any subject, you cannot score high in optional subject. Now you might come and tell me, sir, whatever subject I am interested in, I am not sure whether I am going to get highest marks in that or not in civil services. Possible. Sir, I don't have interest in a subject, but since that subject is scoring very high, I will take that subject. For example, I'll give one small example, very extreme case. I teach maths optional, mathematics optional for civil services. So one student who came to me, that girl is from BCom background, BCom. Okay, CEC and then BCom, not even MPC BCom, CEC BCom. She came to me one day and asked me, sir, I want to take mathematics as optional. She attended my workshop, demo class, and I asked her, she told me like, I'm from BCom background. I said, don't come and take maths. Don't even think of taking maths. Sir, why you are saying that being a maths teacher? Now, what do you think I should do now? Sir, you teach me mathematics, I will score high. How would you score high? Sir, already mathematics is scoring very high, therefore I want to take mathematics as optional subject. Now, without background, how would you take it? Do you know how much time it takes for you to get into mathematics as an optional subject in civil services? Sir, you tell me I'm going to do. I'll give you 1 week time. I'll give an assignment. Okay? Go to intermediate, any college, or go to any bookstall and ask for intermediate mathematics textbook. First year intermediate mathematics textbooks. You take it. There is something called as differentiation in that simple topic. I think you might be knowing, those who come from MPC background. Differentiation is a simple thing. And then second year would have read integrations. Okay? Now, differentiation chapter is there. I'm going to give you 1 week time. Start reading that chapter. After 1 week, you come and meet me. After that, she did not come to me. Obvious. There are certain basics important for every subject. Mathematics being a science one, it definitely requires certain minimum basics required to start your preparation there. But the best part in civil services is humanities. Is the best part, where you don't require any basic knowledge of anything. But whether you have interest for the subject content or not, you should know it. If you don't have it, what happens? For that also I will give an example. Okay? There is one person called as Mujamil Khan. He right now IAS officer in Telangana. Okay? His father, A.K. Khan. A.K. Khan, you know? A.K. Khan? No? Have you heard about A.K. Khan? No. Possible then. Had it been 5-6 years back, you would have known him actually. Okay? Very popular IPS officer. He retired actually. Okay? Now AK, you might be knowing, right? Oh, okay, fine. Mujamil Khan, he is gem of a guy. Not only a very beautiful human being, is a gem of a guy. He is from IIT Chennai. Okay? This guy attempted his mains examination without taking any coaching, first thing. Okay? He cleared prelims examination. He could not clear mains exam. One day his father called me. Shrikant, I know his father, we are very good friends. Okay, and then he called me, Shrikant, my son is not able to clear mains. I asked him, what's the problem? I think he has some problem with anthropology, his optional subject. What's wrong with it? You talk to him, I cannot talk to him. Generally, that happens between father and son, right? Always. Okay. And then he called me for breakfast. So I went to his house in the breakfast. Kundan Bagh. You know Kundan Bagh? Okay, leave it. Anyway, he was serving officer at that time. So we had breakfast, and then after that I took him to some other place, and then I asked him, what's the problem? No, I don't have any problem. Okay. Now what's your marks? He told GS this much. Optional, why you got low marks? I don't know why you got low marks. Now I asked him, anthropology we have 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Which paper you are comfortable? I am comfortable with paper 1. Okay, very good. Now how much you got in paper 1? These are the marks. Why you got low marks? I read everything in this entire syllabus. I know every part of the syllabus. You ask me any question, I will answer it. Then when you are able to answer, why you did not get good marks then? What the hell is wrong with UPSC then? They should be giving you good marks, right? Why they are not giving good marks then? There is something wrong there. Then I understood. I just asked him one simple question. Do you have interest in anthropology or not? Blatantly said no. No, I don't have interest. Then why you have taken this? I want marks. I want marks. It's a small subject. Anthropology is very small. Limited number of syllabus. Limited questions. It is not dynamic. It is more or less static. It doesn't change. Okay. Then I know the entire syllabus. I understand entire syllabus. I remember them. I'll go and present my answers. Now, like this, there are so many people like you in India, right? Why only you? Whatever you have done throughout India, there are so many people who can mug up everything and write answers there. Then why you should be given a better mark compared to others? You got as good as any other human being who has written with anthropology, an average mark. Then why you should be getting better mark? He was surprised. Oh, there are so many people like me, right? Then he understood like, yeah, whatever kind of answers that he was writing, they were as good as any other answers of any other student. Because whatever answers he had written is from a book or a textbook or any of the notes or any of the video lectures that you would have listened to at that point of time. Everyone throughout India has access to everything, right? At this point of time, you have access to everything. Now everyone has access to everything, everyone knows everything. Then why I should be getting better mark? Then I told him, you lost this one, you don't have this one. Everything else is okay, but what about that? If you don't have interest for the subject, then you are not the person who is going to score high in that subject. You will score, but not that highest marks. You will score average, but not the bonus marks. If you look at the previous slide which I have shown you, the guy 300 is exceptional score, 305. 270, 280 is okay. But what about the 30 to 40 marks, additional marks? That mark is going to fetch you the rank, right? Had he not got that 30 to 40 marks additional advantage, the kind of marks that he got in interview, 148 or 149, do you think like you would be cracking this exam? No. Even if he cracks also last rank, what will you do with the last rank? Just because of one optional subject, you miss the 30 to 40 marks. Each paper, 15 to 20 marks in each paper you are losing. Just because that you don't have this one. Strongly I asked him, if you don't have interest for this subject, you are gone. Sir, actually I don't have interest for this subject. What shall I do now? I don't know what you are going to do. But next few months to come, you forcefully get interest in the subject. You tune your mind to the extent of getting interest in the subject. You don't have a choice. Or else you leave the subject. Leave the optional subject itself. Having put so much of effort in that optional, no one is going to leave that optional. Right? So, he forcefully had to get interest in this. There is no other way, I am telling you. There is no other alternative shortcut to score high in optional without that. If you already have interest in the subject, all these secondary parameters will come into picture. If you don't have interest in the subject, all these are useless. It might be having highest scoring potential, political science, anthropology, highest scoring potential these days, even mathematics, highest scoring potential. But if you don't have this, you will not be that person who will be getting the highest score. Then what is the use of taking that optional when you are not the person? When you are getting average mark, you can take any other subject also, right? Why only that subject? If it is the average mark that you are trying to achieve, there is no point. You cannot crack this examination with average mark, I am telling you, especially in the optional subject. You cannot crack this examination with average mark in optional subject. Not possible. You have to score good score. You have to have very good score in optional subject. Else, rest of all other papers you should be excelling. Interview also you should be getting very high score along with that. Then only you can score. Getting my point? Yes. Suppose you have 2 or 3 subjects in which you have equal level of interest. Then comes the secondary parameters where the scoring potential, the trend is important. For example, there is one subject called as psychology, another subject called as anthropology, in which you have equal level of interest. Are you getting that? Psychology, anthropology, equal level of interest. Then you come to me and ask, sir, both of them have equal level of interest, then what do you think I should do? Take anthropology directly. No second thoughts. Why? Scoring potential. Getting my point? Some might be having, sir, public administration, political science. What do you think I should take? As of now, today, if you ask me, I will ask you to take political science. Had it been few years back, I would have asked you to take public administration. Anthropology, sociology, you take any one of them. Both are good. Because both of them has got today equal level of scoring potential. Okay, it's all about the trend. If you look at few years of trend, then you will come to understand, yes, this is what UPSC is doing. Okay, GS overlap is not such a big thing to think of. GS overlap is not going to fetch you so additional marks. Because if you don't have interest in the optional subject, just because that in GS you have overlap, for example, public administration or political science, GS overlap is there. How many marks you might get additionally? 4 or 5 marks. But if you don't have interest for public administration or political science, this one, you are going to lose 40 marks. Is it or not? Think logically also there. Okay? This comes with emotion. All these things come with this one, upper part. This comes with this part. All these things come with this part. Okay? Got it? So, any questions here on optional? Any questions there? Hello, Amy. Now I understood. Someone is asking about optional, right? How to choose an optional. Clear? So choose that optional which somewhere or the other you have some additional interest. Okay. Now someone would say that, sir, I'm extremely interested in same psychology, suppose. Extremely interested in psychology. So my option was psychology, to be frank with you guys. I told you, right, already. So there nothing so against psychology or no for against for psychology, nothing like that. Okay. Now if someone asked me, sir, psychology, this 2 days back someone was asking me, I don't know, same person in this class or not. Okay. And I say that why psychology again? Sir, the term really very catchy term, psychology. Out of all the optional subjects names I have seen, but this term is really good. I say, yeah, really good. I like that. The term is really good, very catchy one, right? Doesn't mean that you are going to get good marks in psychology. Do you think like just because you are fascinated about the term psychology, you'll be able to get good marks? No, nothing like that, right? You look at the syllabus first, content in that, whether you have interest in that content or not, that is important. And someone was talking to me like, sir, public administration, wow. The term itself is like, tomorrow I am going to become an administrator, therefore let me learn public administration now itself. It is going to give me advantage when I become IAS. Arey, pehle to bano na. First you become an IAS officer na. How to become an IAS officer is important rather than learning public administration. But if you already have interest in the subject content of public administration, yes, that's the right subject for you. Are you getting my point? So that's not about fascination about some term. It's all about your interest in the subject content. Paper 1, look at it. Paper 2, look at it. Paper 1 you have in humanities. Paper 1 will have a lot of thinkers would be there. Paper 2 would be Indian aspect of those application of those concepts in Indian scenario. Like paper 1 world geography, paper 2 Indian geography. Paper 1 thinkers in public administration, paper 2 Indian administration. Political science also same lines. Like this it goes. Right? That's how every humanity is like that subject. So in that sense, see, without this I am telling you, it will be a disaster for you guys. Mujamil Khan, he forcefully got interest in anthropology in next few months and immediately cracked this examination. His rank was 22. Very next attempt. There's small change only. There's nothing, not such a big change that we brought in his life. A small change in his preparation created this huge impact. Anyway. Okay, that's all about what I need to tell you guys. Okay, and some more case studies here is of course one of our student Mutyala Raju. I don't know how many of you know this guy. Revu Mutyala Raju. He was first All India rank from Telugu states. All India rank 1 from Telugu states. That happened in 2006. Okay, he was my classroom student of mathematics optional. Right now he is in AP-CMO. Anyway. There are so many stories about these candidates. Each one has got their own thing. Richa, 54 rank. She is Astra student. In 2019, when we conducted first time Astra scholarship test, she was Astra scholarship test student only. Okay, and then 2000 to 2000 she has written her first exam. Okay, 2001 she got into service, she got 134 rank initially. Okay, that year she could not clear prelims. Next year, that means 2021 she has written, so 22 she has written, 2023 we got the result. So now it is 54. She wanted Indian Foreign Service, not any other service. So last year 134 she could not get Indian Foreign Service. Okay, she don't want even IAS also. She will be taking Indian Foreign Service only. Okay, she was very clear. This guy right now is not Joint Collector Kadapa. Right now this guy is Saikant Verma is VUDA Commissioner. Vizag, Visakhapatnam Urban Development Authority Commissioner. Just last month only I met him in Vizag. See, Muzamil Khan, okay. So, fine. I'll just mention a few things about all these rankers. It will take some time actually, so I don't want to spend additional time on rankers and case studies. What is important in all these rankers? Underlying factor. Every ranker, he or she has got a way of preparation, a strategy for his or her own way of preparation. Okay? If you look at Uma Harati, or if you look at Ashrit, or Richa, or maybe Ashvija, Ashvija is a different story altogether. Ashvija, she could not clear her first prelims. So she comes from Bellary. She is from Karnataka, Bellary. She came here for coaching classes. Now the point is, you know what the specialty of this girl? She made her entire family, her father, mother, brother, mother's brother, mama, and his family, their children, father's side also, another brother, their family, their children, all of them almost 16, 17 people, made them, all of them prepare for this examination along with her. She had taken a 3 BHK house, everyone staying there. She is preparing, along with her, the cousins and these guys, they will be reading newspaper, one person reading Hindu, one person reading Economic Times, one person Mint, one person Indian Express. Everyone will be giving synopsis, and that synopsis they will tell her. She listens to that and then absorbs that. And if she feels like something, I'm not understanding, whatever it might be, I need to see that. Only then I will understand. For example, Ajanta and Ellora. She is not able to understand the architecture. She will take and all these people to Ajanta Ellora. Okay, engage a guide there. Give him some money. He will explain all the things. She will understand everything. And then comes back. And then preparation. She was able to mobilize her environment in tune with her preparation. Are you getting that? It's not just about learning every time. Not about reading every time. You have to create an environment around you in such a way that that environment is going to support you throughout your preparation. Are you getting my point? That is also important. Are you getting? That is also part of this game plan. For example, now you are attending classes, suppose. When you are attending classes, you create an environment around yourself, your peer group in such a way that they are also serious candidates like you. They are compatible the way you are thinking. They are also comfortable the way you want to discuss with them. The way you want to discuss with them, they also should be in a position to discuss with you also, right? If it's just one-way traffic, again useless. It has to be two-way traffic in which all of you, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever is the team might be, the peer group might be, you should be able to share your thoughts freely and openly. And someone is finding difficult in one subject, you should be able to help them so that tomorrow they will be going to help you in some subject which you are not so good at. Are you getting that? So all these things happen, you have to create that. It's not about we keep on teaching you, you are keeping note of, and then going final examination hall trying to write answer. No, that is academics. But in civil services, it's not like that. You not only have to learn LRP, learning, revision and practice, but also your environment you have to create for you. You have to create it. If you ask me, sir, please can you create an environment for me, my peer group? How can I create your peer group? Is it possible? Possible, are they? Impossible, right? So you create your peer group, but you be conscious of what you are doing. You should know that, yes, this guy is in my peer group because of this reason. This guy cannot be in my peer group because of this reason. But you have to have your peer group for your preparation. That is up to you. Getting that? Fine. Any more questions? Anything? CSAT? It has becoming so difficult these days. Yes. See, CSAT. 3 things in CSAT: English, reading comprehension, arithmetic, and reasoning. Okay? Yes. Last year paper was an aberration basically. It's outside the domain of the way UPSC is supposed to ask questions. But assuming that next year also we'll get similar lines. That's how we have to prepare, right? The toughest of the toughest paper we have to expect and then prepare accordingly. Right? So earlier the strategy was like, if you're already good at English reading comprehension, you be strong at it, but along with that reasoning also you do some kind of questions. But someone he is not good at English reading comprehension, we'll ask them to be good at arithmetic and reasoning. But reasoning is something which everyone has to be good at, because reasoning is all about common sense. Arithmetic, at least you have certain numbers would be there. Some of you might be frightened with the numbers. But reasoning, nothing to do with mathematics. Arithmetic itself, we don't feel it as mathematics. I don't say it is mathematics. It is common sense. If you have common sense, arithmetic will be able to do better. But reasoning definitely requires common sense only, nothing else. Reasoning doesn't require you to be an exceptionally good at something. No, nothing like that. Sitting in this room itself tells that you have very good reasoning abilities. That's it. You are good at arithmetic as well as reasoning. But the only thing is you have to believe that yes, I can do it. I am good at reasoning. I am good at arithmetic. You need to believe that. But if you are just scared of mathematics, there is no mathematics there. You know one thing, I don't teach CSAT. Not that I cannot teach CSAT. I never ever teach CSAT. Initially when CSAT was introduced, first 2 batches I taught CSAT. After that I never ever taught CSAT. The only reason being that I don't get pleasure of teaching CSAT. Because if I don't get pleasure, I don't teach. While teaching mathematics optional subject, I get the pleasure, therefore I teach, or else I will not teach. CSAT mein kuch bhi nahi hai, because it's common sense. What is that my contribution in that? If it is mathematics optional subject, that my contribution is tremendous in that. But CSAT mein there is nothing that my contribution would be there. Because there are so many other teachers who can teach better than me in terms of arithmetic or reasoning, because they know more techniques. But I don't follow techniques actually. I follow common sense. Even in arithmetic and reasoning also I follow common sense only. But most of the people know techniques. And you people know, in fact, you people are so desperate to learn techniques. But generally, I don't know any of the techniques of arithmetic or reasoning. I always use common sense. But for that to fine tune that common sense, you need a lot of practice. Okay, anyway. Okay, so don't worry about CSAT. We need to do additional efforts now. That's it. Coming to options is addressed. Answer writing already Uma Harti has already mentioned. You have to keep on writing. Whether you like your answers or not, you have to write. Don't worry, but start writing. Okay? Now get those answers evaluated by someone. Take the feedback. That's what we do in our Abhyasa program. Without feedback, we are not going to give the answer scripts. Feedback is important. Okay? NCRT, I think I already mentioned, right? I think by default, it will cover it. Resources, what is that? Cut short resources. So much of content available. No, the point is, always remember one thing. Shakamuri example I have given you, right? Shakamuri 40th ranker. Limited resources. Though he also has so much of resources that whatever you have, right? There's 1 year difference only. But he restricted his resources to very limited numbers. But he got mastery over those limited number of resources. You identify those limited first. Get mastery over that. Then think of adding some more. Till the time, don't add anything. This is what even I tell in optional subject also. Even optional subject, plenty of syllabus. No, don't read the entire syllabus. Maybe first time reading, yes, read everything so that you will get complete overview. But after that, your strategy should be you select certain subject or chapters. This chapter here, this chapter here. First get mastery over those topics and then add another topic here, another topic here. So keep on adding them based on availability of time that you have in your preparation. Don't keep on trying to read everything every time. No. Have a strategy for yourself. Okay. In options, I actually created very good strategy for mathematics people, which is working all these years. So you need to have your own strategy for your option also. Talk to the concerned teacher. You will get that. Okay. Cut short your resources. You have to cut short. You cannot keep on. See, if you look at YouTube, for example, so many resources are there in YouTube. 99.99999% of them are junk. Every morning when you open YouTube, what happens is you will get a video. Scrap videos. So many videos we have. No. You identify a series of videos, a channel, continuously follow that channel. Okay, certain videos would be very good. Only follow those things, nothing else. Okay, next, for example, maybe newspaper analysis, suppose. It's okay. Everyone gives newspaper analysis on daily basis. All are nonsense. Okay, but you follow one of the. For example, you are reading newspaper today. You understood what is the news item, but you don't know how to analyze that. So you need to get analysis from someone. For example, Rao's people are giving daily news analysis videos. Byju's is also giving daily news analysis videos. Okay, whether Byju's is failing or not is a different thing. Don't worry about that. That is not relevant for us. The start of failure. Okay, what we need is that the content there. Okay, suppose you are following Rao's. Follow Rao's daily for next 2 to 3 months. But after 2 to 3 months, you should understand the analysis to the extent of you should be able to analyze the newspaper to that level in next 2 to 3 months to come. If you cannot reach up to you doing that analysis, then you can never ever crack this exam. You should get the ability of doing your analysis on the given topic in newspaper. But initially we take assistance of someone. The assistance can be any of the sources. Are you getting that? Okay, that's how it is. So you limit the sources. Newspaper I already discussed. Okay, any other questions before you conclude?
I do. So on the personality test aspect, you did mention that there's a certain amount of risk that needs to be taken. So what is that kind of risk? So that part was not clear.
So the risk part is something like this. When you fill DAF form or when you try to answer your question, if a candidate who want to get an average mark, you know what he does? Whatever he asks, he answers. That's it. Whatever he asks, he answers if he knows the answer. That candidate will again ask some more questions. On whatever answer, from your answer itself, they take questions. There are such a smart guys. They definitely know that based on the DAF, they are going to ask certain questions. That is confirmed. You can definitely identify certain questions where, yes, panelists are going to ask some questions. That question, they define their answer in such a way that they put a keyword in your answer, well-prepared keyword, so that the panelist will be tempted to ask a question there. Now they ask a question. Again, for that also you have a template answer. There you will put some more keywords. See, this, I have seen people like this. I have seen people like this who scored more than 220 in interview at my time. There are people who can do this. There are people who does it in front of me. You know what happened? One of my friend is 9th ranker. He is right now in Rajasthan cadre. That guy, So he asked me like, "Arey, we'll do one thing. You take interview for me. I will take interview for you." So I have taken interview. A series of questions came. We went to some other friend's place where we again followed the same process. Again, this guy has got the same set of questions. So we went to Vajiram. At that point of time, everyone used to visit Vajiram once, like a temple. Okay, there is one-to-one with Ravindran sir. Now it's not like that, but earlier. Okay, there also the same set of questions. Then he realized, yes, this is what it is. Are you getting my point? So for this kind of a profile, these are set of questions. All these set of questions also he has a ready-made answer. Even in the ready-made answer also there are certain keywords. This is very smart way of preparation. Number one. Number two. When you give your opinions, it's not just about giving an answer. You give an answer not with a balanced opinion, but with a kind of a biased opinion, so that you have some kind of justification on that. So you drive the board in such a way that instead of board driving you, you drive the board in this line. That is highly risky actually. That might work, that might not work. If you are able to justify, it works. If you are not able to justify, you are cornered. Once you are cornered, coming out of that is very difficult affair again. It's so difficult in the interview point of time, because you have just half an hour or 35 minutes in which you already were cornered. Coming out of that itself, you don't have enough time for that. They won't tell you like you relax for some time, after that we'll start questioning you. There won't be any such scenario. They keep on asking you questions from this side or that side or this side or this side. Okay, so these are all certain scenarios where you can manipulate the board. But there is one more risk also. For example, I will give my example. So I was not good at interviews. Let me be frank with you guys. Of course, civil service interviews I was not good at. Any other kind of interviews I am extremely good at. But civil services, what happens is, I was like IAS officer has to be like ideal. An ideal person like Ramudu. Kind of, okay? Puranalo cheptaru kada Ramudu ani. Ramudu is actually an ideal figure there, that's it, right? Now, an IAS officer has such an personality traits where he has to be like this. So you have to think like that. Not like you are well prepared person, you should be like on spontaneous level. Any given question you have to react spontaneously. That was my wrong opinion about IAS officer. Later on I realized that was wrong. It's a different story. Now what happens? I went to interview 3 times. Second time when I went to interview, it was in 2003. 2004 was my last interview. So 2003, when I went to interview, it was Mata Prasad. I still remember. Mata Prasad. He was actually retired chief secretary of UP Mayawati government. There was, I know whether you know Mayawati or not.
Yes.
Okay. That person is very old person, and then he has some hearing problem. When we speak in a regular tone, he will not be able to hear it. He cannot understand it. And he knows that. So he is very conscious about that. And all these retired IAS, IPS officer will have a kind of composure and a kind of ego, you know. One level of ego would be there, especially when they have a defect on the face of it. Generally, even professors, if you see them, professor also has that, right? Because I belong to teaching line, I understand it. Now the point is, I completed my interview. I was so happy, exceptional interview. I was jumping like anything. I came out of that interview panel, and then I came out of the UPSC also. Then, you know, in UPSC what happens? Dolpur House, UPSC. When you come out, there are so many people looking for you. And they start asking questions. What happened in the interview? What happened in the interview? Because they just wanted to know like what's happening inside, so that they can prepare themselves, or they can create a YouTube video. I don't know. Okay, at that point there is no YouTube, but at least now people do that. Anyway, so that guy is very knowledgeable. My time, it's not about YouTube, right? And there's no YouTube at that time. It's all about, they're also preparing for this examination. Maybe after 1 week or 2 weeks, they have interviews. They want just to know what kind of board that we have, and board what kind of questions are being asked, so that they can prepare. Now that guy asked me like, Mata Prasad, so I heard, how was your interview? It went on exceptionally good, man. This time I am going to make it. And he asked me, so what happened in the interview? I heard that Mata Prasad cannot hear properly. I could sense it. So did you ever observe that, or did you ever had any kind of a problem in the interview board? Once I asked him like, sir, I could not hear your question properly. Can you please repeat that? Oh, tell me clearly whether you asked it or not. Yes, I asked it. Do you know how many marks you are going to get? How many? 65. This guy is a fool or what? How can he tell me my marks beforehand? You know what happened? I exactly got 65 marks. I exactly got 65 marks. I was surprised. How come I got 65 marks? That guy already told me 65 marks. There is no prediction there, actually speaking. You know, the experience was, later on I came to understand that Mata Prasad always gives you the minimum mark for anyone who points out his deficiency. Whoever points out his deficiency. Then I asked someone like, then what we have to do then? Because I did not understand question properly. Then what we have to do? You speak something nonsense. You speak something or the other. Then definitely he would have understood that this guy did not understand my question. Arey yaar, I am not asking that question, I am asking this question. Then this time he will sound it properly. Arey yaar, these kind of techniques we have to follow here in UPSC. I was of the opinion that an IAS officer, ideal, spontaneous, and all the stuff. But what is there? It's all about your preparation for that exam as well. Personality test is not just ideally when we say that you have to build the personality as good as an IAS officer. The way IAS officer thinks, you also have to think like an IAS officer. You have to build the personality of an IAS officer. All these things said, okay. For a workshop like this is okay. But practically what happens, in the interview board, man, this is what happens. Not to discourage you. You have to prepare for that scenario. Every time when you go to interview, who is the chairman of UPSC? Who are the members of UPSC? Each member of UPSC will become chairman of his own board. Panel. His panel would be there on his name. A, B, C are the members of UPSC. A panel, B panel, C panel. On his name there is a panel. Board would be there. You need to understand what kind of a person he or she is. What is his or her background? What kind of interest he or she has? Are you getting that? What kind of lectures that they have given elsewhere? What is their command area? What kind of answers that they expect? What is their behavior? Everything you should be well prepared before going to UPSC board. Which I didn't do. Therefore, I am here today telling you all these stories. Are you getting my point? So that also requires preparation. Yes, definitely require the personality. That is up to sure. Because managing the board for 35 minutes is not such a small thing. Okay? But you should be conscious that you should know like who is the chairman of the board, what kind of a personality the chairman has got. You should be well prepared for every kind of eventuality even beforehand. Then yes, your interview would be a successful interview. Taking risk or not is all up to you. That's all about your capacity. Okay? But something that is more important is, that is the reason why there are two things which are important when you go to interview. Mock interviews are important. Number one. Number two, knowing about UPSC boards also is important. Getting that? Yeah, any more questions? అంతేనా ఆ క్లాస్నా నాకు కూడా ఆ క్లాస్ నేను బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ చేయలేదు ఈరోజు మీరు మాట్లాడుతుంటే టైం తెలియటం లేదు ఓకే ఎనీవే తెలియకుండా ఎనర్జీలు వచ్చేస్తూ ఉంటాయి ఇట్లా సో క్యాచ్ యూ గైస్ లేటర్ సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ మై సెషన్ and then at any given point of time if you have any doubts on this preparation you can always come back to me okay for those people who have already joined the classes from tomorrow morning you will have classes at 6:30 right I think you would have already got a message. If you have not yet got the message, you will be getting a message by today evening. Timings, topic, place, is it Indira Park premises or Ashok Nagar premises? Okay, you will get all those details. The morning class would be 6:30 to 9. Tomorrow you don't have test. Day after tomorrow onwards you'll have test. Obvious, right? ఏం రాస్తారు రేపు టెస్ట్ పెడితే క్వశ్చన్ ఏమి ఇవ్వాలి కూడా మాకు తెలియదు కదా. Anyway, thank you so much for attending. Catch you guys later. Yeah, bye.